Boom.
This is how you really gonna start this shit. All right,
That's how
man.
I'm starting off this shit.
Volume 60 of Show Your Work Network. We are back. My boy Nelson will be here in a minute. I got my dog Young in here. As always, I am DJ Larry. Follow me at DJ Larry0093 in the pod at Show Your Work Net on Twitter. And we're gonna switch it up a little bit today, man. Originally, I hit my boy up and I said, man, put me on to some dope music. He sent me the link and I said, nah, bruh. We gotta have this interview, man. So we're gonna show y'all what the next phase of Show Your Work gonna look like. But first and foremost, let me introduce my brother and always friend of the show at Earl Got Soul.
My brother, what's going on, man? Youngin, my man DJ Larry, what's good with y'all? Man, damn near we damn near country cousins now in this bitch, man. And trust me, the collaborations and work we got coming this year, scary house for a lot of these networks out here, man. So for sure, I appreciate y'all having me on as always.
Oh yes, sir. Anytime, shit. I'm afraid to do it because I don't trust the government. But real shit, we may need to do the fucking ancestry shit because the way we be talking, like,
hey man, look, motherfuckers, oh, you know this nigga? Oh, I bet, yeah, I know. So,
man, talking about niggas rooted together.
Yeah, man, for sure. But speaking of family, we got a member of my family on for sure. I'm talking about me and this guy, dog. We go back like, God, man, I couldn't even tell you, dog. I'm talking about motherfucking before basketball cards. Like I'm talking about Power Rangers on the motherfucking comforters and shit, man. We talking that kind of go back.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that one of the greatest rappers in the world is my brother. So, you know what I'm saying? DJ Larry, I'm gonna let you kick off the intro, man.
Yes, sir. So without further ado, man, we have that boy Crown, man. At Who Is Crown, man. You know what I'm saying? On all social platforms, my brother. Crown, welcome to the show, man. We appreciate you coming through.
Hey, what's happening, man? I appreciate y'all having me. DJ Larry, Youngin, Earl, of course, man. I'm interested to get into these topics in this conversation, man. So thank y'all for letting me come kick it with y'all for a second.
For sure. So before we get into our normal, quote unquote, show your work shenanigans, as I like to call it, I do want to ask you a few questions in relation to what I've heard. And I do want to say this for the people who are listening. I will never sell y'all some bullshit or promote some bullshit to y'all. So trust me, if Crown was ass, if he was trash, if he was not good, he would not be on this platform today. Please believe it. So when I say the boy can go. I'm not going to lie. So just as an introduction, I do want to ask you a few questions just so people can get, in tune and kind of figure out what's going on. So real quick, just simple question. What made you want to start rapping? And I guess I do want to ask a detailed question, but first give people a little bit, info about yourself, where you're from, and what really got you into the music.
Okay, bet, man. My name is Crown, artist, entrepreneur out of Daytona Beach, Florida. Been doing music most all my life, if not all my life, feel like all my life. As far as what got me into doing music, man, I was a kid. Honestly, I'm a 90s kid, so there's a few different influences. Of course, Michael Jackson being one of them. I don't know a black kid in the 90s who wasn't inspired by Mike in some type of way. Hip-hop kind of coming up under the golden era of rap. It was inevitable. I think what made me start writing was a House Party.
Okay.
Honestly, that was like one of me and my god sister. Yeah, that was one of me and my god sister favorite movies as a kid. And I would just mimic the battle scene all the time. And in the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where like kid was writing his rhymes on a bed. And I remember I had just like learned how to write. So I had like a little three-prong folder with some paper in it. And I just like wrote like 2 lines. It was like, yeah, I'm a rapper. Stuck with it.
Yeah, that's dope. So to follow up what you said, I'm gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna say 2 things actually. Yeah, with Michael Jackson, dog. Listen, bro, that motherfucker. And we cuss, so you more than welcome to say whatever the fuck you want on this podcast. We are unfiltered.
Good.
So yeah, man, with Michael Jackson, bro, ain't nobody fucking with Mike, dog. That motherfucker stood on stage for 7 minutes or however long it was before saying a word and then just said a word. Like, I don't think anybody's gonna ever be able to top that Super Bowl performance, dog. Like, especially when he was started jumping through the arena, like he would come through the actual stage, like he was Rey Mysterio or something. Yeah, bro, ain't nobody fucking with Mike, dog. So
no, for sure.
And then with House Party, I'm gonna ask the best debate: 1 or 2. Which one is your favorite?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I just watched 2 the other day. I'm gonna always go with 1, because of the originality of it and the rawness of it. I love 2, but what I noticed with 2 was like, because 1 was so successful, of course they try to go more bigger and more mainstream and more kind of pop with it. Of course it became a college party and shit like that. But a lot of the stuff that I seen on 2 to me wasn't as raw and as authentic as 1. Like, nigga, from the school fight scene to the, nigga drunk, you gotta take a nigga home and leave him on his porch type shit, to just even the creep of, like, you know what I'm saying, you risked it all for one night trying to get you some ass. That shit that niggas really done live through, you know what I'm saying? So it means something different to me. And it's my start point. So, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I can totally respect that. But you see, I didn't ask shit about 3.
Yeah, 3 is like, I fucking hate 3, and 4 is never to be mentioned.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't.
4 is not to be mentioned, but you got like the Bernie Mac scene. Throw the jawbone.
No, Bernie's scene was funny, but I'm gonna be honest with you, like, they went all
besides
the way.
Besides
corny.
that movie.
Like, I'm gonna it'll be House Party 1, Class Act, House Party 2 for me.
Yup.
I feel.
Okay.
All right, now where is School Days up there for you?
School Days, man. We talking Spike film, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like School Days, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, but as a Spike fan, and as a music guy, I don't really put School Days up there. I love it for what it was art-wise, but I'm really I'm more of a More Better Blues. More of a More Better Blues. He got game guy.
I see what you're saying now. I see what you're
saying?
saying. Now, School Days is just. I love School Days because if you never get anything from that movie, just always remember that Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson was outside of a KFC arguing with some frat niggas and telling them how they weren't gonna be shit. And 40 years later, we looking at Samuel L. Jackson, dog. So that's what's up, man. So now I'm gonna ask you a few questions before we get into the project itself. The last project being, it's out right now. Y'all go check it out. It's called We Still Don't Know. It's on all streaming services and platforms. And if you look at the ticker, I have put excuse me, I don't know why my voice is doing this today. I have put all of Crown's information there so y'all can support the brand. The brand is Brolic. So I do want to ask you a few questions. Now, when you get into rapping, obviously, you have your favorites, right? As a listener. Now, once you actually get in it, you may look at some people that you thought were either trash or weren't all that, and then you actually learn to get a little respect for them, just because of the grind, the hustle, things like that. So, who were your inspirations before rap, and then after rap, who were some that you could say, okay, I can respect his hustle now?
Okay, so coming into rap, man, like I said, I'm a 90s baby, so my inspirations were Outkast, Pac, Hove, Snoop, of course. I think, and going into the 2000s, Kanye's, Wayne's, T.I.'s, the legends, you know what I'm saying? Those are always my inspirations. I think Jay and Andre were my biggest, though. Andre just from style and approach and originality, and Jay from hustle. And, you know what I'm saying, just the bravado, you know what I'm saying? As far as as I got in the game and started working in music and making moves, I think, I don't know if there's one specific person. I think every year, me and Earl can kind of test this. Every year I would have like 2 people that I would look at and just see. Because if you notice, around the summer cycles, you always get two different artists, right? And I would see people come up year by year. I think what ends up happening is you have a respect for everybody if you do this shit, because whether they good or not,
They
to
hustle a
navigate this
motherfucker.
water is fucking like you swimming with sharks for real, nigga. And to make it out this water with your legs and your arms intact, nigga, you know what I'm saying, it's damn near impossible. So you get a base level of respect. But for some people that surprised me, I would say let me think, who's the person that I was surprised? Future. Future was somebody that surprised me.
Okay, you mind elaborating?
Yeah, when I first moved to Atlanta in 2011, I don't know what I thought I was walking into. In the sense of like just the market, because like when you go to New York and you go to LA, they're they're very big on history and music history. They also make moves and room for the new generation, but like they're very nostalgic. They respect their legends. You get to LA, you're gonna hear Snoop on the radio. You get to New York, you're gonna hear Jay, you're gonna hear some Biggie play, you're gonna hear certain things. In Atlanta, what I was expecting when I first got here was to hear at least some Outkast. You know what I'm saying? For years, I didn't hear no Cast on the radio. But this was like, I literally moved here like a week before 2 Chainz took off with Right Around I'm Getting It. Like I literally had a whole conversation with him. Nigga was smoking that extendo blunt outside the F-350
Yeah,
outside his high school.
he was still titty boy at that
Yeah,
time.
he was titty boy. He was just like, the tape was just finna drop, and Future had just dropped Racks on Racks on Racks, him and YC. So when I first heard Future, I didn't think it was such a different sound to me. You know what I'm saying? And sorry if this is going too long, but
Man, nah, we
You
here.
good. It's your
We
interview.
here.
okay,
We
cool.
here.
With Future, it was like, we in the middle of the blog era. So, it's the Drakes, it's the Coles, it's you know what I'm saying, it's the Shans, the Wale's, it's the rhymers. It's kind of like this rebirth of like spitters, and then here's Future with like this really unorthodox, awkward vibe. And I didn't think it was. I can be honest. I didn't think it was gonna last as long as it did. I loved some of the songs, but I was like, yo, this nigga, like the Tony Montana when he like, all I got in my words in my balls. I'm like, nigga, that don't even like rhyme. It fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, this shit is going. But then when he did Monster, I was at the listening session at Patchwork. No,
Legendary studio.
Tree Sound. Sorry, I was at Tree Sound. I went to the listening
Another
session.
legendary studio.
Facts in Atlanta, and I just remember like we was in the studio, and he was standing in the middle, like we was by the control board. He was standing in the middle. He had on a white bandana, and he had like his dreads up, and he just sitting still. Man, this shit was like a movie. I lie to you not, man. Nigga was just sitting still, and it was like 20, 30 young niggas around him. And he had done played, he was like, press play. And they play, put that blonde in my dreads. I went Tupac. Whip bandana around my head like I'm Tupac. This nigga standing completely still like a fucking sergeant. And these niggas is around him jumping off the fucking walls, nigga. And I was in that bitch like, oh, this nigga's different. Like, that was the moment when I was like, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? And, it was an honor because after that, I really got to see like the power of community and change. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times in rap, especially for classic rap fans, we don't allow much room for change. And I think those are the people that inspire me, the people that kind of come in and do the shit that ain't supposed to technically work.
Right.
And then it fucking works. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a lot of people, of course. But he's one that comes to mind.
Right. And it's interesting you mentioned 2 Chainz because, we're from Memphis, and I remember, the campaign he had prior with the Trapavelli Part 2 mixtape, and how before Riding Around and Getting It, it was I Just Call a Boo. And then, of course, shout out to Bigger Rankin, that whole campaign. So, to get to Codeine Cowboy was not an easy journey for him. So it took him some time. So my next question I wanted to ask you is, since you mentioned Future and you already have your inspirations, because when I listen to the music, if I had to compare it, I do see the Andre, because I hear and feel the poetry. You know what I'm saying? I can see comparisons to like Wale, Cole. I can see those comparisons. Now, obviously, being a vet in this, you're not no rookie at all. you know, can you just talk about the pressure that you may have put on yourself to always either evolve or, you know, try to make your music adaptable to people that may be out of your normal, you know, range or comfort zone? Because, you know, you get into a zone and you just know what you like to make, but then sometimes you want to be conscious and try to quote unquote make the radio song or make the club song, you know, make that song. So do you, now that you've been in it for 10 years, do you still feel that, or more than 10 years, do you feel like, man, this is something I need to do, or do you just go with the flow, man, and whatever works, whatever?
Honestly, man, it's kind of hard to say. There's a training ground that goes in this shit, right? So, like I told you, I started as a writer. You know, that was my first placement in the game.
Right.
For me, man, I've always been. So, if you listen to the people that I named, that were my inspirations, right? Outkast, Jay-Z's, Tupac's, Kanye West's, T.I.'s, these type of people. The reason why I always loved these artists was because they gave you substance as well as hits.
Right.
They could give you a hit and say some shit. They hits never felt forced. You know what I'm saying? They never felt like, oh, I'm just trying to make a radio song. It always felt like there was a message in it, and this shit just jamming so hard that it hit the radio. And that was always my goal from the jump. So I kind of was trained in that, just studying those guys. So it's never really been pressure for me. I think probably the biggest challenge for me was kind of coming to Atlanta during that Future era, because at that time, you know, I'm a pure rhymer and we are in the blog era. But this is the change. This is where we're getting into, like, the trap era is really expanding.
Oh yeah, 808 Mafia is running the city.
Yeah, and
I'm well aware.
the Migo flow is just like killing everything. And it's like in Atlanta, one thing about the A is like this shit is so family oriented. People don't understand. I tell people all the time, like, you can be in Atlanta and never been in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, and speaking
Like,
of Atlanta, man, happy birthday to that boy Keith, man. Low Life Mac, man. Salute to my
Happy
guy.
birthday to my dog.
happy birthday,
Keith,
King.
my boy. Happy B-Day, bro.
For sure.
But yeah, man. So being here, that was probably that's the only challenge I've really faced musically, was just like trying to navigate through that space and still maintain lyricism, because in Atlanta it's about feel. It's not really about lyricism, it's about lingo and it's about feel, and just really kind of being a total package as opposed to just being nice with your pen and so forth. But once I figured that shit out, it just made me a more lethal artist and writer. Because I tell everybody, like, as a writer, if you don't spend any time in Atlanta as a producer or a writer, you're not really gonna ever get in this shit. Because they have a tempo that's so far ahead of the curve. It's like nothing's the same. Every year shit changed. The lingo changed. Like, prime example, you seeing this Push and P shit. Like, even though we know that's some Oakland shit.
Thank you. I wish I had the damn office gift where I could just press that with Michael Scott.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We know where it come from, but just to show the power of Atlanta, it wasn't popping like that until Atlanta put a snap on it, and now everybody pushing P. You see what I'm saying? It's like niggas who don't even know the origin. Like, that's the power of the A. Like, when they start putting their whole little spin on shit, it's different. So that was probably my biggest challenge, just figuring my way around that and trying to master the art of still being authentic to who I am and to the style of music that I love. But as far as like chasing hits and just, I don't feel no pressure. Trust me, 2022 gonna be beautiful.
My boy said he kicking down the door. I ain't gonna lie, I'm right there with you. I wasn't even supposed to speak. But
For sure.
Go ahead, bro.
Nah, cause I feel him on it. Like I ain't never, you know what I'm saying, been to the A, but shit, just moving from down south to up north is like, you know, they got that Midwest. Ohio got that Midwest flow. You feel me? They ain't got their own sound. You know, you either gonna, if you rap from Ohio, you either gonna sound like you from Detroit, or you gonna sound like you from Chicago.
Facts.
I'm coming in. I'm from the South. Like, I'm sounding like I'm from Memphis, and they're like, yeah, the shit. You know what I'm saying? What I normally do is cool, but it's like, all right, let me try to adapt to y'all shit too. But nigga, I can't.
I'm gonna be honest with you though, bro, and not to, you know what I'm saying, pride nothing, but nigga, Memphis the hottest shit in the world right now. Don't switch nothing.
Nah, this is, look. So you moved to Atlanta 2011, right?
Yeah.
I moved to Ohio 2012. So
Okay.
when I moved there, Memphis was really just now starting to get seen again.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get me wrong, I feel what you're saying. I ain't gonna switch shit. I ain't gonna say I would
Yeah.
never rap on a you know what I'm saying, a sped up a Detroit style beat. I just know I'm not gonna use that flow.
No, for
You
sure.
feel me?
Like the
You feel me?
Memphis flow, the hardest flow out right now. But that's the dopest part about where you at, because you are kind of you're in a sweet space, my nigga. Because the Detroit flow and the Memphis flow is taking over the sound right now.
Yeah,
Like,
nah, it really is.
so it's like you do kind of, if you fuck around and master that hybrid between both, nigga, you Thanos out this bitch.
So that does lead to my next question that I had, and that's going to be, since you are talking about different styles and different things, walk me through your normal, as an artist, walk
Mhm.
me through your process for picking out a beat. Now, are you a man, let me just go on BeatStars, Track Train, or whatever, and just pick something out, or are you just hitting the homies up and seeing what they got in the stash for you?
Nah, man, I got a lot of producer friends. Like I said, that's the beauty of kind of writing. You end up
Mm-hmm.
meeting a lot of producers, and so I got a lot of homies who produce. I don't really do the BeatStar shit. Like every time I've done one of those situations, BeatStars, YouTube beat or something like that, it's always some fuckery involved.
Oh, trust me.
Because niggas really don't like. I think that's the difference between superstars, producers and beat makers. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't really producers, they beat makers, and then they do shit like this internet shit kind of fucked the business up in a sense of like, you can't sell me an exclusive beat if it's on YouTube, nigga. Cause I could just YouTube the MP3 your shit and now there's nothing exclusive about it. Everybody has it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really do the internet producers, the beat star producers, and I hate that for them. I know it's a lot of money in that market, but it's like it's hard to really monetize when you really playing the game the right way. Every
Mm-hmm.
producer that is a producer that's got the qualifications, the credentials, the plaques, they should not on no goddamn beat stars, bro. Like, or if it was back in the day when they was just trying to get on. But once you hit a certain level, dog, you're not giving your workout like that. So I don't really pick from that. But are you asking about sound or just like
Well, yeah, that and the sound too. Yeah.
um as far as sound goes, um that bitch gotta be jamming, man. Like I gotta feel it. It gotta be jamming. I'm like that's why this kind of connects to your last question. Like that's why I don't really have a problem with like hit chasing because I know hit beats when I hear them. You know what I'm saying? I know what's gonna catch. I got a really good ear for that. I'm grateful to have that ear.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't. I I hate rappers who pick horrible beats. Like I personally just hate it because it's like, bro, there's so many beats in the world. You chose that, like,
and and to go to your point, that's why, because as a person who dabbles and dabbles myself with production, like I said, I call myself an expert novice. I know a little bit, but I don't. I'm not gonna act like I know everything. You feel me?
nah, I feel it.
It's a double-edged sword because on one hand, you can grow your audience by putting beats out. On the other hand, if I can't blame a motherfucker if they broke and YouTube the MP3. I mean, we've
Yeah,
been there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it is a catch-22. But the thing is I do think it's necessary only because as much as I love some of my own personal people that I network with and love, shout out to Troy Cameron, shout out to DJ Cash, shout out to Snook. I'd be here all day. Trey Voorhees, former guest of the show.
Right.
It's important that you do step out of your own particular zone because some days your homeboy might not have it.
No, that's for sure. I mean, you not to cut you off.
No, you good.
No, you gotta have multiple producers for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I mean, production and just anything in business, but specifically amongst the creatives, this is a constant game of shaking hands and networking, right? So it's like every day you're gonna meet somebody new. And for me, what I will say is like I do this, I don't know how long I'll be able to do this. It's been working thus far, but niggas is weird. But I typically, anytime a producer reach out to me and want to like work with me, I'm like, yo, send them through. I give everybody a listen. So I'm always looking for new producers. I'm always looking for new sounds and new styles. So it's never just sticking with one person, but just from the business aspect, I've never seen the internet beats work well. It's always a problem. Like on every level, it's always a problem because you get a beat from a nigga and okay, he did the drums, but then he got a loop from a nigga in Switzerland. And then six other people like, yo, I paid the exclusive fee for this beat. And now what ends up happening is Cardi B got the record and she loves it, but now she want to scrap the whole song because it's a headache. Or they go get somebody else to just reproduce the shit because at this point it's too much mess with it. You see what I'm saying? So, coming from the internet era, it's cool to get your money and hustle, but it's like producers, one thing I will tell you about, I know more producers than I know anybody. These niggas is in the rooms. They're in the studio. That's why I tell everybody who produces, like, if you are a producer and you are not in Atlanta, you are not trying to make it. Period. Because this is the easiest market in the world. Literally. Like, you could literally be in the studio and Zaytoven be in the next room and walk in the door and be like, oh, that shit dope. Come fuck with me real quick. Hey, put some keys on this or put some horns on this. Boom, boom, boom. And next thing you know, you got a co-placement. And then you do that 3-4 fucking times. Now you got you a manager. And on the front end, you might have lost a little bit, but on the back end, nigga, now you in the room with this person, this person, this person. Now you getting a publishing deal just because you was just in the right place at the right time cooking up. That's how that shit works. You know what I'm saying? And them niggas ain't always on the internet. If anything, they on Twitch doing a live shit. They doing like just the beat game is changing. You know what I'm saying? And the beat star shit, yeah, it's money in it, but it's like, what we going for? We going for not dimes and nicks, or we selling bricks? What we doing?
I can definitely respect where you're coming from on that. Like I said, I mean, personally, I've been in certain situations that you were just mentioning earlier, like, man, this is some bullshit, the loops and splits and shit like that. And I've also seen the other side of the coin where, I've seen dudes who have gotten movie placements later on. Now, granted, some producers still throw some scrap beats online just for some quick, gas money or something like that. You feel me? Even though they are established. So, I
that's
definitely,
cool.
Yeah, sure. I definitely see both sides. But yeah, like, I mean, if you got a certain placement, it's just like with anything. Like, man, if you got dope, you ain't gonna just sell no, Reggie prices if you got gas. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna sell it for what it's worth. So I totally get that. But just a question, because everybody's process is a little different. So since you mentioned the studio, I'm gonna combine two questions into one. So are you a full block, 8-hour block, full day, or at home guy? And when you do record, what's something that it's like, all right, bro, I gotta have this shit with me when I record. Like, I gotta have this with me when I'm getting ready to lay a track down.
Man, honestly, bro, I ain't been in studios in years, bro. We still don't know what's recorded in an Airbnb in the living room.
Respect.
Yeah, we don't. I think studios have their place. Don't get it twisted. And like, I'm climbing back to the studio process, but some of my greatest music done came in the hood, like literally in the living room. So it's not really no process for me. If there's a mic there, we can get busy. As far as something that I have to have, I don't think it's nothing I really have to have, but a thing that we really kind of thrive on in our team is like, we get these lights. Like, I need color changing lights wherever I'm at. Because I might feel blue, I might feel red, I might feel green and purple, and it just might set an ambiance to me. But that's about it, man.
I feel you, bro.
Let me interrupt real quick, because I do got to call a little bit of cap. He does need one thing. Wherever you at, make sure that your finest tea leaves are present in that space. Wherever y'all can provide the finest of tea. Because if it's one thing, and no, real talk though, I've seen a lot of people record a lot of things in a lot of my time, whether it's podcasting, music, or whatever. One thing about Crown, two things for certain: he cares about how his voice is appearing on what he does.
For sure.
And there's something to be said about an artist who cares about the quality of his work to that extent. A lot of times, studios are filled, smoke, drinking and this, that, and the third, but I can tell y'all every time I've seen the man either drink hella water and hella tea. Now, after we may go get something to eat or whatever, that's cool. But at that time, nothing but water.
Yeah, nah, you definitely got to keep the hydrates in the room. Like I keep a lot of water around. Just because I experience, like, so I experiment with my voice. You know what I'm saying? I kind of use my voice as an instrument. So you definitely got to make sure that the vocal cords is on point. You know.
1000%. See, and it's funny because he said tea leaves. I thought he was being sly and referencing
Oh, no,
something
no. I'm
else.
dead ass about the
Nah,
finest of tea. Like
Of
the
course, no,
finest of tea.
I feel him on it. Being a smoker that records and being a person that smokes while recording, you definitely need some good tea,
Yeah, nah, for
plenty of
sure.
water, right?
For sure. I
And then my
definitely
shit,
keep
like
one.
my voice come out naturally raspy anyway. So I ain't gonna say I'll play with my voice, but you're gonna get this clean raspiness, goddamn
I feel it. Facts. Facts.
No, that's 1000%. All right, man. So since I'm going through most of these, man. So I'm gonna ask you a few more questions, and I got actually some questions about some songs I've heard. Like I said, I'm not gonna ask you no basic ass shit today. I'm gonna ask
Oh
you
no,
some real
I
shit.
love the real questions. Let's do it.
So, all right. So I'm gonna share my screen, and then I'm gonna ask you a question because I have a question about your upcoming project, and it goes into this. So, Leaders will be out on February 22nd,
Correct.
like the date that you chose.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
All right. So for people out there, they'll be able to see this artwork now.
Oh, look at that. That's dope to the motherfucker. Okay.
So my question is, when it comes to making like just inspiration in general, like what is some things that you do like to if you're in an art slump where you're trying to figure something out, like like damn, how do I want this? Or just even in a music slump, like what's something that your go-to like, all right, this will get me out my slump.
Uh, I think music kind of just gets you out your slump. For
Okay.
me, I'm kind of in a different place. It's kind of weird for me right now because I've never been in this place before. But um, for this particular tape, kind of just give you some history behind this tape and what it is and just the date.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Leader. It's the 10-year anniversary of a tape that I did before called Leader of the Lost, which was released 2/12/12. And that whole concept of that tape was like training ground for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was like I studied like 200 albums, just rap albums, classic rap albums, and I took like a verse from like the hottest artists of each year, from like 1985 to like 2012 when it dropped. I took a beat, whatever one of their classic beats was, and I rapped over it. Just trying to push my pen and push my style and so forth. It ended up being like 80 verses. The shit was crazy. But that foundation kind of built a lot of my early fan base. And so a lot of people love that era of my music. And for this one, they just kept asking me to bring it back. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of past it, but how could I get back into it? And I was kind of in a slump musically, just because it's kind of hard to create sometimes when the world is in chaos. And I think we said all we needed to say to the world, but we still don't know. So for this one, what I started doing was this is a mixtape. It's really classic mixtape shit. Like it's just cover beats. Like I took everybody beat and I'm blacking on it. So I the inspiration behind this was I just started listening to a lot of Drought 3, Drought 2, Dedication 2, some battle rap shit. Like this tape
Gotcha.
about bars. And so when I'm in a real rap mode and I want to like snap, I get into like I think the mixtape era is like the greatest fucking training ground for any rapper. Like, go ahead. Sound like you had something to say.
No, I was just gonna say, man, because I got a shameless ass plug. So, ironically, literally next week we are having a conversation about mixtapes from 2006 to 2008. So,
I'm down.
if you ain't doing shit, I'll give you the basis of what we're gonna be covering. But yeah, it's just ironic. So yeah, y'all heard that first. Volume 61 mixtape conversation. We are definitely coming back next week for some chaos with that one.
Yes,
So
sir.
Okay, yeah, I need to be in on that one. But yeah, man. So like when I'm in a rhyming mode, I listen to a lot of just a lot of classic rap mixtape shit. A lot of Jadakiss freestyles, a lot of Fab shit. I love Griselda. Wayne, just all the spitters, all the niggas who really just say shit that make you press the rewind button. When I'm in a more melodic mood, I'm always listening to melody. I love a lot of old school music though. So like Marvin Gaye is one of my favorites. I'm still
Mhm.
just like in awe of how this nigga layer his vocals and his harmonies. Prince, Beatles, anything, Korean Bailey, right? Anything I can get my hands on that's just different. I'm very much so like if I grew up in a record era, I'd probably be like a crate digger for real. I'd just be in a record store all day, but that ain't really my thing. But yeah, I could find inspiration in a lot of ways. Um, Women, women for sure. Like
One of the
I,
greatest inspirations since the
for
beginning of
sure,
time.
especially women who love music. You know what I'm saying? Because women
Oh
feel
man.
music different. So I'm a notorious playlist thief. So if I'm with you and you playing some shit that's nice, you're gonna have to come up off that playlist for me.
My boy
But
said he's the Shazam Bandit. I
oh
fuck
nigga,
with it.
listen, I was just telling my nigga B, like, now this shit might sound crazy. Niggas gonna steal my sauce though. Watch this. Listen, H&M, any department store got the best music ever. When you wanna hear some shit you ain't never heard before,
Nah,
and
for real.
for melodic shit, like nigga, my
Man.
Shazam stay
Oh,
off of H&M.
fam. No, let me tell you something. It's funny because I was laughing when people were joking on Weekend with his last album. They were like, "Oh man, this sound like that H&M music." I'm like, H&M got the most fire
The
shit.
fucking
Like
vibes,
man,
Hey,
nigga.
like
listen, bro.
man,
I discovered Cleo Soul in line at H&M. I promise,
fam.
G.
I
Like,
have noted, fam. Even going back to a kid
yeah,
before Shazam, all that I'm talking about before even having a cell phone. I'm talking. I remember being 12, 13 years old at the Macy's dealer department store, broke with no money, trying to get the cologne and hearing, Spandau Ballet True in the background, or hearing
Yeah.
Hall and Notes, or hearing like, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, I'm a Shazam bandit my damn self, man. Like, man, being when I used to work at Lowe's, dog, like home improvement store, man, I used to be in that motherfucker jamming, dog. Like, taking that Shazam shit. So that's what's up, man. So my last main question before we ask about the music is just simply, now that you've been in this and now that you've earned your stripes,
Mhm.
as they say, can you talk about the importance of your team and those around you?
Yeah, man, I think that's the most important factor ever. I'm I am my team. You did what I'm saying, and my team is me. And what I mean by that is like Crown ain't just this person you talking to. Crown is a combination of everybody that's around me. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm not only telling my story, I'm doing my best to tell all our stories. I got the way with the words, but my nigga B got the way with the camera. Bree got the way with the engineering. Earl got the way with the look and the fashion and just the culture. Like he's just invested that deep into it. Ayo got the way with just them turntables. So it's like some fucking transformer shit where we just all come together and I'm just the person that's, pushing the narrative with the words. Over the years, I've always had a team. I come from, like I said, I hate to keep referencing the era, but it's like, we come from the crew era with music. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga,
Hmm.
it was always a squad, nigga. It was Jay and Rockefeller, T.I., PSC, Wayne, and Young Money before that squad up. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It was always a clique. It was never just one artist. Um, so for me, that was kind of my foundation. And coming from the city that I come from, I just always been a big believer in power in numbers.
Okay.
The more people that's together with what you're doing, the stronger the movement gonna be. But on the journey to anything, you gotta navigate the struggles of just human nature and psychology. You know what I'm saying? I always tell everybody, you can't do shit without no help, dog. Like no man is an island. You know what I'm saying? You weren't put here by yourself. It took two people to come together just to get you here. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
you will always need somebody. It's about picking the people um that's solid. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I can't speak for everybody, but I think most people specifically in this country want three things, You want somebody that love you. When they don't love you, at least they understand you. When they don't understand you, they still at least want you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They at least still want to be around you. And I think when you building a team, those are the things that you want to look for. Understanding, love, and want and even trust. But you know what I'm saying? To a certain extent, you can't trust nobody until the fire's on. So, you know, those three things that give you the most faith and whatever trust you could place in people. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So to me, I don't see anybody not make it without a team. Like your team either it's gonna help you swim or it's gonna make you sink. One or the other, man. And I'm grateful for my team. We're a group of collectives. These guys and girls could do anything they wanted to do in the world, but we chose to do it together. And I think that shit is more than anything. Representing the team, Shop Open, Shopforeveropen.com. Leader come out 2/22/22. Gonna hit pre-order that. Okay, shameless plug.
I mean, it is what it is, bro. And then, you know, I shared the page earlier so people can see it, but in the comments too, I'm going to share this as well, so you guys can definitely check that out later on. But y'all can definitely take a look at that. And again, it's on the ticker, man. Like at Who Is Crown, it's going to get you right to the site. Right. So, all right, let's get to the music, man. So I have a few more questions, and then we get to our normal shenanigans. All right, man. Let's start off with the bullshit, the fun shit.
Okay.
Fuck these niggas. Now.
Yo, we could talk all day about that.
All right. Let me ask you a few questions, man. All right. Talk to me about how this song came about and just how real this song is, because again, you told the truth on this shit, man. These girls will hop on fucking anything that they can type their ass off to and say, facts. Fuck these niggas. Niggas ain't shit. But then, you know, disrespect the fact that it took a man to have them. You know, they do have fathers somewhere. And, you know, just love talking so much shit. But, you know, again,
I can't wait till y'all see the video.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got a treatment for the video. It's gonna be so incredible. Listen, we shooting this soon. Yeah, man. Well, you know, so that part of the tape was a concept project, right? And that portion of the tape kind of sets off our generation. So I broke the tape down into three different generations: Generation Z, Generation Y, Generation X. X being our parents, Y being us, Z being the newer generation.
Right.
Y, you know, if you notice it's Gen Y, WHY, it's like why we do the shit we do. That's how I looked at it. So with FTN, I just wanted to pose a question. Now, let me tell you the side note. That's every chick's favorite song off the album.
It's gotta be. What
like,
you mean? Like,
I literally got girls that's walking around this motherfucker who plays this song every day. Like, I got a homegirl that every day she plays the song, and she called me to tell me she playing the song. And I kind of told her, I was like, you know, it's a diss song, right? Like, you know, the song is about you. Like, it's not really for you to. She's like, yeah, I know, but still, this is how I'm feeling, because they hit a hook. You see what I'm saying?
Dog, they get a chance to just walk around and say, "Fuck these niggas,"
and that's all they wanted to say anyway.
That's all they wanted to fucking say.
So the whole concept of the record for me was like, I mean, I think I don't think I could have worded it any better. I just wanted. How can I say this?
Nelson just popped up. This is my co-host, Nelson. He just popped up.
What's good? What's up? I'm sorry I'm late, y'all.
No, it's cool. You shot in right on time, actually. So the thing about FTN was like, all right, this might get me in trouble, but I feel like we got an era where a lot of niggas talk for women and don't talk to women musically.
Hang on just 1 second. Let me find what I'm looking for. Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, I really think we just in the era where a lot of niggas talk for women and don't talk to women.
Oh man,
musically. And for me, I don't come from that. Like, I'm not a woman, so I can't speak for you, but I can speak to you. You know what I'm saying? And my favorite rappers was the niggas who could talk to the women and make the women feel wanted and respected and cool or even included, but they also represented for the niggas. Right now, it's a lot of nigga bashing music out here, and it's like nobody's really telling the perspective from what we see and what we go through. So when I'm writing FTN, like if you hit a skit, like going into it, that's my homegirl Sparrow saying, we quit to yell fuck these niggas, but when niggas tell us to get our shit together, everybody quiet. And I feel like it's so many young men that go through that shit consistently. Like, we constantly just, like, you know how many times I've seen this chick like post a meme and I'm like, you're naked right here. Like, I don't You know what I'm saying? Like
Man.
you're naked right here, but you posting this meme about this, and it's crazy. So I just wanted something that I felt like when the niggas heard it, they was like, nigga, somebody said it. And I knew the way to do that is mixing the candy with the medicine. So when the women hear it, I knew instantly, oh, fuck these niggas. That's it. Cool. Sing it, but really listen to what I'm saying to you. That was the whole concept behind it.
And that's the great part about it because that project came out in 2020 and is still so relevant today, man. Because like I'm sitting there listening to it, and I'm like, yeah, bro, ain't nobody got time to be, going through your story with 25 Justin LeBoy, Justin LeCointel pro quotes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, no. So that's 1000%. I guess my next question, because you mentioned Gen Y, and I did notice the concept of it. I don't know
Yeah.
if I don't know if you listen to Big Crit like that, but one of my favorite
Nah, for Crit.
Crit projects was Forever in a Day, where he kind of just ran through his day, and it's kind of what it reminded me of, like just concept. Because I did like the interludes, speaking with your people, and how they led into the songs and stuff like that. So my next question was going to be about in a constant state of, because within a constant state of, most people, especially coming up Black, Southern Baptist churches, things like that. You go to church, it's all about praising God and, giving God glory, things of that nature. So describe to me being willing to venture frustration, because people don't, in churches and just in general, don't realize that in life you're going to go through struggles. So talk to me about that and your choice to, make that record.
Yeah. Total transparency, man. That was the scariest thing I ever wrote. And Earl can vouch for that. When I recorded it, I told him, we were sitting down talking, and I was like, man, I'm not sure if I should even drop this, because I knew what I said on the record. But it was honest and it was raw, and I had to go in deep prayer. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in a church myself, so I know God very well. You know what I'm saying? My family is very rooted in spirituality, but there's a lot of things that was happening in this season when this tape was being built. So
I can tell.
the thing about we still don't know was like COVID had just hit.
Right.
And I'm traveling at the time. Like I had this gig where I was flying around the country making different money, different plays. And so I'm flying like 4 or 5 times out the week. The airports are wide open, you know what I'm saying? But the world is shut down. People are still flying and shit. But what I started noticing was with the chaos, this is Trump's last year in office. So of course shit is chaotic. But what I was noticing as I was traveling was that everybody was having the same conversation. I could be in San Francisco on a plane next to somebody just talking about the same shit I was just talking about with somebody in DC the day before, or in Dallas, or in Atlanta, or in Florida. But I realized nobody was having a conversation on the surface. And I'm the type of nigga who like, nah, fuck that. Let's talk about it. So when I was doing In a Constant State Of, I think this is around like the George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, like all of that shit was happening within like weeks of each other, right?
Yeah, around like May, June 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember just I think I was finna go to Minnesota. It's crazy that we even talking about this because my homegirl just hit me yesterday about it. I was finna fly to Minnesota because I wanted to see it. And she was like, it's crazy out here. You can't really get around. And I was like, okay. Because I literally was like booking a flight to go. And I just remember like watching so much news and just really being like, what the fuck? And it just came out, man. Honestly, like it's probably the quickest thing I ever wrote. I just started pouring out. Just, you know what I'm saying? I was writing it in my phone, laying in my bed. And I knew what I had wrote. And I went into prayer. I was like, God, like, yo, I ain't shit. My nigga. One of them situations. And I just remember God saying to me, nah, do that. And that was kind of I think that's one of the like beginning parts of the tape, actually. I think that's one of the starting points. That's either the first or second record I wrote. And the whole concept was like, I think what God was using me to do in that moment was like, say, hey, say this because I hear y'all. Like,
Right.
nah, I hear y'all. Say it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think one of the things about black people, now we getting into a deeper conversation, you know, but you kind of brought up the church, so I got to speak about it. You know, I think one thing about our generation, especially, you know, the millennials, and what we're having a really hard time with, but what we're also breaking barriers down is we've we're the unlearned generation. We're the unlearned generation. We're the generation that's like, yeah, okay, cool. We tried everything y'all taught us. We trusted everything y'all taught us. We followed it. We graduated. We went to school. We did this. We did that. We trapped. You told us to hustle. Trap or die. We trapped. We died. We did all of this shit. And you niggas is wrong as fuck. Like, and then the internet, and then COVID, and then everything else was like, yeah, everything you thought you knew, scrap that.
You don't know shit.
So, you know, everybody's in this place of questioning, which leads to the title. You know what I'm saying? To me, the tape was, it was my response to Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On." 40 years later, we still don't know.
And now that you say that, I can totally see it.
That's a valid.
Yeah.
That's a valid point too, because like the way you explained it is kind of how I felt about a lot of things in general. Like I think it's just not. Me. I'm Puerto Rican, but just not only with. I just think with the world, like even with me, with my older people, like yes, our customs may be similar, may be different. As the same way they could be similar, they could be different. But it's like that shit you did 30 years ago. That shit ain't gonna work for me.
Man, that shit wouldn't
You
work
know
at
what I mean?
all.
Like it's like look at politics, bro. Like it's literally in our faces. Like, and I don't want. I'm not gonna get into politics too much because whatever. But think about it. Like a lot of shit that we've known that's been apparent even since the civil rights fucking era. The civil rights era was what 60 years ago.
Yeah,
We're still in the same cycle.
yeah,
It's just shit like that where it's like it's literally in your face that we have
yeah.
these old motherfuckers that keep telling us, "Yo, do this, do that, do this, do that." And it's like it's not working. Like what happened, what worked for you when you had the opportunity to do that, like that's not what's gonna work now, and we need to figure something out. But there's such a big disconnect, and
Well, you
everybody's
know,
like, "I don't know," and it's like, "Well, maybe you should talk it through and
this
try to understand this."
this is the coolest part about it. I give you some personal, like, so one day, like 2014, I'm going through it, man. I'm fucked up really bad. I'm sleeping in my car, and I remember calling my grandma. You know, God rest her soul. I remember calling her and just being like, "Hey, grandma, how you make it to 84?" And she said to me, I said, "How you make it to 84? I'm not sure if I want to be here that long." And she said to me, "Baby, I can't tell you because y'all world's so different." The peace that gave me all the strength in the world. Because I said to her, "Thank you, grandma." Because if I'd have called my mama, she would have tried to give me an answer. And the truth of the matter is, she don't have an answer. Nobody knows because this shit is very fucking different. The internet, I have an argument that, you know, our generation is we're the most, like, if you look at the history of 2,000 years, man, you take somebody from 1600s and you put them in the 1900s, there's a relation point. The lingo may be different, the customs may be different, but he'll see a horse and be like, "Oh, that's a horse, you ride that." There's a this, and that. You take anybody from any other era and you put them in this internet shit, they're fucking lost. The social media internet shit changed the cards. It made generational gaps way shorter. You know what I'm saying? A nigga 21 can barely relate to a nigga 27 today. It's a whole different market. You see what I'm saying? So with that, tying back into the original question of religion and things of that nature, even what we were taught, the faith that we have as people of color in general was rooted in survival, and those things that never leave our community. But the customs and the things that we've been taught about religion and God come from a broken system and broken information, half information, and we've been using it and wondering why we got more churches in our community but less prosperity. We got a lot of faith conversations that we're having, but you're not seeing them manifest because we're not speaking the right code. But if you really do the history of slavery and you realize the preachers were the ones that the slave owners chose, you know what I'm saying, and taught only so much. We didn't teach you everything. We taught you enough to keep you oppressed. And then that shit just kept snowballing into everything that we've seen today. And now preachers are some of the most questionable people on earth. This is gonna get me in trouble, but fuck them.
Now you're not wrong. So
So these are the things that's like happening. And I think what's happening in the world today, like, is God is literally putting question marks on everybody's forehead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Identify yourself, you know, and I think the truth gotta come to the light. And for me, this project was, I've always been honest in my music, but I tell people since it dropped, like, this is the most honest project I've ever put out in my life. Like, it was literally like, yo, this is how the fuck I feel, and this is what the fuck I'm saying. And I wanted to see how many people in the world would hear this project and be like, nigga, you hit it spot on.
Yeah, nah, I'll just say real quick, because I mean you basically said everything there. I just gonna say that when I first checked the link out, I had seen that that's a bar freestyle. So I'm like, okay, this is just gonna be like, just a lyrical showcase basically. But then I actually heard the project and I'm like, bro, this is some dark shit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's dark. I enjoyed it because it's dark, but it's
Yeah.
also like it comes off as dark. Like even the cover is kind of dark. The titles are kind of dark, but there's still some sense of like you can figure it out. It's not like we're fucking doomed, but like there's like it's like, yo, listen, this is what's going on, and we gonna figure it out. It's not gonna be today. It may not be tomorrow, but we'll eventually get some type of knowledge and know you just gotta apply yourself to it. Like that's what I got from it. That's why I actually like the title a lot. Like it seems very simple, but at the same time, it's very like, damn, if you really think about a lot of things, like we still don't know. Like this shit that I thought that I didn't know at 23, that I'm 30 now, and I still don't know. I still don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your age, like Earl's and Larry and Youngin and everybody in general, like you still won't know. It's just you gotta, it's just a very. I like that saying a lot. Like
I
it's like
appreciate it.
I always say, like, even sometimes I say it like I quote Sting the wrestler, like when he said the only thing for sure about Sting is nothing's for sure.
Right.
It's just like, you know what I mean? It's the same. It's kind of a similar saying. So that's why I resonated with it too.
Yeah, and just listen to that project. I can, like, even without you telling me your stories, right, that you just told me in the last few minutes, I can already relate. Rest in peace to Miss Ruby. That was my 80. How old was Miss Ruby when she died? She probably was like 82, 83 years old when she passed away. And I used to take her home from church. I used to soak up so much game and wisdom, before she passed away, which ironically, like, I can see when that project released in October 2020, it's like she passed right around that time. So
wow.
Yeah, and it's funny because I tell people all the time, man, soak up that generation while you still have them, because
Man,
they are honest and they are going to tell you how it is. They're not going to sugarcoat it. They're not going to care about your feelings, but that's real love in the way they don't care because they want you to hear the truth.
yeah, facts.
So that's definitely a powerful project, man. And like I said, I'm expecting the lyrical showcase, but it was definitely a great.
That's the next project. The next project is a lyrical showcase. So that's definitely what you're gonna get from NASA Bar, because we bar niggas up. But as far as we still don't know, yeah, man. I love how what's your name, my man? I'm sorry. Nelson. Sorry.
That's all good, bro.
I love how you summed it up, because that's what it was about for me. So when I did, we still don't know. The problem was that I noticed was like, and I knew it was going to happen as soon as COVID got announced, because I know how the cycles work with music. Mm-hmm. Everybody pre-records their album like a year in advance, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because there's so many things that got to go in for the marketing rollout. So I knew what was going to happen was a lot of artists was going to drop a bunch of shit that wasn't going to resonate to the time. And then when you're successful and you are part of these machines and you got quotas to meet, you've seen a lot of artists fumble the bag in 2020 and 2021, even, in a sense of like, when there's money, power, bitches, bottles, and all the rest of that shit all day, every day, and that's really your lifestyle. When the world don't allow you to do that no more, you don't have shit to talk about.
Exactly.
And for me, I was trying to make the project that was gonna make everybody deal with what they was dealing with. Like the reality of it is, nigga, we not outside. The reality of it is, I don't know if we going to fucking war tomorrow. I don't know if motherfuckers gonna try to run a niggas' houses. I don't know if they on a mission to kill everybody, black and Puerto Rican or of color. I don't know if this nigga Trump gonna try to win again. I don't know what the fuck going on. I'm confused and I'm trying to figure out how to make it through whatever is happening right now because I ain't never seen no shit like this. And typically I know people choose music to kind of escape, but there was no escape in that moment for nobody. So my thing was, and you know, maybe it's just a testament to my character, but I always been a face it type of person. Because at least if I can face it, I can navigate through it. You dig what I'm saying? And that's really what the tape was. So when you get to the ends of it, you know, some of my favorite records is Revelation and Rage. The first half of the tape is me just telling you, hey, this is what it is. The end of the tape, hey, life gonna teach you how to deal with pain. You see what I'm saying? Hey, cut that shit off, man. They lying. Now we getting into this is how we climb out of it. And what a lot of people don't know, I just never got to it. I still plan on doing it, but there was gonna be a sequel called But I Do Know.
Okay.
And that was gonna be, bitch, get back to this hustle and let your creativity fly. You know what I'm saying? I think when things like this happen, it's literally for the people like us, these podcasts, these creatives, these writers, these producers, these painters. God just gave us a whole bunch of material to pull from. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, let your talents fly, let your shit show, speak the fuck up. Because the one thing that the older generation has over us that they've been using as a noose around our neck is that they gonna speak the fuck up, whether they loud and wrong or right. And we've been always like, we talk, but we don't talk about the shit that really matter. We talk about a bunch of bullshit via memes and social media, but it's like, nah, nigga, step the fuck in this shit, let your titties swing, let your nuts hang, say what the fuck you need to say, and run the fuck over whoever the fuck's in the way, because old niggas ain't here forever. So nobody ever gave nobody the throne. Like when you talk about 80-year-old people and nigga, them motherfuckers wasn't handed shit. It was, we gotta take it. And in our generation, we like, yo, you guys are old, hand it over. Nah, bitch, snatch that shit and sit their old asses down.
So man, this is what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna pass it off to my two co-hosts because I know me and you know, been
We'll
going
do this
back
all
and forth.
night.
Before you go there, I do want to interject real quick.
Go right ahead, because I got my point saved. It's all cool. Go ahead, brother.
I have a theory. As I've listened to that album now for the last year and a half, year and some change, I do have a theory that some of our qualms, and this will be a deeper conversation, I'm sure we will circle back to as a collective.
Okay.
Crown included for sure. We will. I have a theory that the generation X, I can't remember the listing of the generation before them, but
Baby boomers.
The baby boomers. I have a theory that the baby boomers turned into something that they were never supposed to because Generation X dropped the ball. When you look at the baby boomer generation, they rebel first. Look at the civil rights era. You look at the innovation era. Even if you look up until they were really active and starting to get to retirement age with the boom of the internet. Generation X was the addict era, the drop the
Vietnam,
ball, if you will,
the Vietnam base.
Vietnam, exactly. And if you look at it for real, we've been so upset at Generation X or at the baby boomers still being in place. And I'm not giving excuse to how they've acted, but I do feel like they had to because Generation X didn't have they didn't have the wherewithal that we do to want to step up. And I think that there's a conversation there. So there's something there that failed us, but indirectly, not from generation or from the baby boomers, but from Generation X never really stepping up.
Well, I could speak to that real quick.
Go ahead, Crown, and I'm gonna speak on it because I got a full ISO. I'm gonna speak on that one because he telling the truth. But go right ahead, brother.
There's two things. There's a couple things that happen. And it's a psychology thing. Generation X was targeted, just like our generation was targeted. And Generation X was targeted by baby boomers. You gotta understand, like the baby boomer generation is coming right off the Great Depression, and they're also coming right off World War I. So, it's a one or two. I'm not sure. Was it two?
I would say probably two
Hey,
more
listen,
than
Two.
one.
I'm
Yeah,
Sorry.
pulling
two,
up.
yeah.
I'm pulling up
I'm
the
one of those
correct
two.
classifications for us, so that we'll know
Sorry,
which
y'all. You know
years
what I'm
count
saying?
as what, so
I
we can
had
be
history
It's
class.
all
I
good.
paid.
technically correct. So,
But because of where they're coming from, they have a different grit about life because they were born in the midst of chaos. What you're about to see is the babies that are being born during COVID, they're gonna have that same grit about life because they're born in chaos. With Generation X was targeted. When you talk Vietnam, you talk about drug usage and so forth. It was a power play to never give up power. They were targeted in one sense, and then the other sense of they come from broken structure. You got to realize the amount of death that was just saw in the black community between the 60s alone, from JFK to MLK to Malcolm X. Just the
Right.
murder alone stifled X. And then by the time they got old enough to be adults, as kids, you're seeing that shit. By the time you got old enough to be adults, and then you got money in your community, regardless of how you got the money, there's money in the community.
Right.
It's like you just took niggas from. It's like if I go give $100,000 nigga $1 billion tomorrow, or no, fuck, not $100,000, $10 nigga $1 billion tomorrow. He's gonna fucking do his best to blow all of it because he ain't never had to manage more than $10.
exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So it was a targeted situation, and then what happened with us was we're babies of a snowball effect of the greatest era ever. If you're born in the 90s and the 2000s, you're a part of black gold. We're literally at the peak of this country. We're at the peak of the industrial revolution. We're at the peak of everything that's happened over the last 400 years of just building this. Niggas is getting money. Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Tiger Woods, Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing the manifestation of what black people can be for the first time. So our expectations of life is sky fucking high because this is the standard that we upheld to. But everybody else before us, like, nigga, shit. Shout out to Michael. He made it the fuck out. But I know 4 niggas in my hood who didn't. You see what I'm saying? And it's more of a, damn, that's our dog, as opposed to that's the standard. For us, it's the standard. And then we get hit with, yeah, the standard is cool, but here go this internet shit. And here go all the rest of this shit. And the standard ain't gonna quite work because the niggas who still controlling this internet shit and this all these other markets are the baby boomers. And some of the Generation X niggas who was smart enough to stick close to the baby boomers and adopt that type of mentality. But by the time you get to us, like, we never really got our legs off. That's why, leader of the lost, that's what it was called. They called us the lost generation. I always thought it was a diss, like y'all saying we lost, like we stupid. It took me years to realize that they were saying, no, you guys are gonna be lost in transition. Y'all are in the gray area. This When we introduce this internet shit to the world and we start changing the cards on this shit, you guys are gonna get caught off guard. You're not gonna see what's happening. So the kids who grew up in the 90s and then walked into MySpace, most of us didn't realize this was coding and this was gonna be a way of life. We thought this was a way to make sure your girlfriend knew that she was your girlfriend on the top 8 and just vibe. You see what I'm saying? But there were other people who were born after us that was like, no, all I know is the internet. Nigga, all I know is outside. The internet was extracurriculum. Nah, internet is life. So there was just, it's not really nobody dropped the ball. Everything's by design, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's where I was gonna ISO from, and I'm gonna just ISO for 30 about a minute, and I'm gonna pass it to my co-host if they have anything else they want to add to this, and just questions for you in general. But it's more so of, like you were saying, man, like, you gotta remember, man, like, if you switch generations, like some people in this generation who get offended by every single little thing would not have lasted during, the boomer generation and Generation X, because niggas was saying whatever they wanted to say. It wasn't no like, oh, let me worry about your feelings. Now, one of the great things of this generation is there has been a bigger focus on mental health, because again, back then it wasn't, but the one thing I will say is, just in living this life on a personal tip for me, one of my favorite books in the Bible is Ecclesiastes, because it talks about how, really and truly, you just got to take it one day by day, and you can't worry too much about what's going on. Not saying that you got to be careless, not saying that you got to just be walking around, carefree.
Everything is meaningless.
Exactly. And the thing is, when you know that and when you accept the fact that life is going to go on and be good with or without you, you can learn to appreciate it more. So that's why I appreciate your project, because again, it is a question about why, but again, in life you do have to learn how,
How?
So
Right.
yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
For sure,
I
for
appreciate
sure.
it.
Definitely.
So yeah, Nell, that's all I had, as far as my questions. Is there anything you wanted to give a crown before we get into some shenanigans?
I mean, this project was really good. I appreciate it. I mean, Larry basically took it all away from me, so I appreciate that shit, bro.
That's what
Thank
I do
you.
best.
Thank you for listening.
No, I mean you need that type of honesty. I feel like I think, and you explained it. We kind of all said it in different forms and fashions, but like this pandemic really, it made a lot of people sit down. I mean, shit. We started this podcast basically in the middle of almost at, I guess, the end of the pandemic, but
Blessings.
Pandemic ain't over
same
with,
thing.
but
Like we're still not. We're still in it.
yeah.
Don't let no club promoter tell you that we outside. But yeah, like even that, like I was like, damn, I want to start a podcast. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. And then it's like, well, I can't go out anymore. I can't do this no more. I can't take my mom or shit. Let me start this podcast, and
Right.
I did, and so I feel like with that, like some people took it as like, oh, I can't go outside, but it's like, yeah, sometimes you need to stay in the house and just listen to your own thoughts, and
No,
not
for
distract
sure.
yourself with all types of shit. So, I appreciate this project because, yeah, as much as I didn't know about some shit, I still don't know about shit, and it's you basically you explain that through your through the music. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Man, I
Cheers.
appreciate y'all listening, man, and just taking time
Of
and
course.
checking it out, man, for sure.
For sure.
No,
And
definitely.
Youngin, was there anything you wanted to mention or say before we continue on with our normal topics?
Nah, shit, you hit it on the head for real, brother.
Yeah.
Shit, outside, say what I had to say at the beginning, and shit, y'all kept going, shit, y'all. Good interview, my boy.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for having me. I got to get ready to go live in a few minutes, but I definitely want to hear some of the shenanigans before I get up out of here.
No, of
Oh,
course.
well, if you want to hear some shenanigans, then real quick, since my boy Earl is here, man, I don't know how much longer you got, Crown, but I want to have an on-air conversation with Earl in front of the people. We've had this in private, and I respect Earl.
Oh
I
shit!
love Earl.
What
He's
I
the
did,
most
man.
respectful, disrespectful nigga on this planet. You know what I'm saying?
I keep getting that. I keep getting
Hey
that.
man, take that, make it a t-shirt and run with it, bro. You know what I mean? All right, man.
I never heard somebody just come into a podcast, but yeah, they got their coochie spat on and say it so like
That's
nonchalant.
crazy.
I'm like, all right, son.
That what that did happen. I thought that was a bonus episode. My fault, y'all.
Hey man, hey, you didn't know your mic was on, bro. That's all
It's
cool.
hard.
You know,
You should make Proud Gun on your shirt too, but
So-
that's okay.
So, Crown, you mentioned, you love of music and things of that earlier, inspirations, things of that nature. So, about a week or so ago, me and Earl and a friend of the podcast named B Dot. I don't even know if I want to call him a friend at this point. He's a friend, but he's a different breed. We had a friendly conversation. I want to have it on air. So, I mean, because the conversation started because I forgot we were talking about verses. And ironically, this week they announced Anthony Hamilton and Music Soul Child. We're going to get to that later.
That's going to be a good one.
I think Music Soul Child is getting put respectfully in a fronto, backwood,
That's going to be a good one.
easy with all of that. But
Anthony got a lot, man, but music got the ones that when you hear them bitches, you be like, God damn. But Anthony got a lot of them shit, so it's gonna be an interesting battle. But go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say Anthony, man. I'm gonna get into my theory about Anthony Hamilton because I said in the group chat, I'll say it on air. I don't care. I feel like Anthony Hamilton held it down and was the king of neo soul R&B when Maxwell and D'Angelo was scared to come outside. But we're gonna talk about that in just a bit. But we had a fun conversation because we were talking about Jodeci and who could top Jodeci. And I remember earlier I mentioned New Edition, and somebody was like, somebody who shall not be named, who was also on this podcast, was like, I don't want to hear that second bass ass music. So, so,
Yeah.
so with that being said, and anybody can jump in at this point. I mean, where do you stand on quote unquote? I put it to you like this: where do you stand on 80s R&B pre Babyface? Because Babyface and Teddy really lead into the transition into
Thank you.
what we know as 90s R&B.
There is no 80s R&B without Babyface and Teddy though. Like you can't even. That doesn't even exist.
I would argue for argument's sake and say that there is R&B, but what we know culturally as R&B, yeah, it's no Babyface,
it's like
Jimmy
Rock
Jam.
Steady is wrote by Babyface, so it's like
And that was
everybody
what,
in the
79, 80?
Yeah, because you got to think the Dell is 78, 79, 80. So if you take away Babyface and Teddy from the 80s, then all you have is Michael and Prince.
Well, I mean, you still have a few, you have
Keith Sweat, but that's Teddy.
No, but even still, like guys like Larry Silver,
like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
You got a few.
Jimmy Jam.
But what I'm saying is like it's definitely a benchmark, 1000% with Babyface. So with Babyface and prior, with New Edition, you did have the quote unquote serenade, and granted Babyface was tripping. I'm gonna get into some of the lyrics in a bit, but
he was one of the greatest liars ever. Go ahead.
Oh, listen, Trick Hall of Fame. Like, ain't nobody, listen, Dirty Mac Hall of Fame. Trick
100%. 15,000 yards on the ground. Liar.
Liar. He ain't even the Hall of Fame. Like, it's like 10 statues of him outside. It's the Deal statue. It's the Boomerang statue. It's the Tender Love statue. It's so many statues. So in your personal opinion, because I know I'm probably going to be 4-1 on this, and I don't care. Do you feel like New Edition, as great as they are, has a chance in a versus with a group like Jodeci? And I do want to just say this before
I get off here, because I got to start my R&B night in a few minutes.
You good?
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say Jodeci State is damn near top 2 and not 2 R&B.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. As a musician, and I come from an R&B circle, Godmama was Betty Wright. I'm gonna keep it buck with you. Jodeci's getting washed, sir. They're getting fucking washed. Jodeci is a. Let me tell you something about Jodeci, honestly, guys. That we overhype. Jodeci was an era. It was a frequency. It was a vibe. When you really play these albums in like back to back, like I study albums, 3 albums back to back. Their singles are strong. It's very 90s though. Like Jodeci will have a hard time with Boyz II Men, to be honest with you. Like they'll have a hard time. Jodeci was a frequency, and they were a first to do something that had never been done in R&B. So they hold the same pocket as Bobby, in the sense of like you guys took R&B groups and made them bad boys. But it was more about a lifestyle and an image than it was about just the music. Like the music worked. It's like Trey Songz Ready in 2010. It's a lot of jits walking the earth today because of that album. But it has no comparison to R. Kelly. There's no comparison to Usher's Confessions. It was a frequency that he hit in a certain pocket that carried him for 2 or 3 projects. And that's the same thing with Jodeci. As far as like 80s R&B and shit, like you talking about a group, nigga, who mama and auntie didn't sit around a TV for 2 nights in a row and watch that movie, nigga? Like kids, mamas, daughters, uncles, aunties, grandparents, that's 30, 40-year career. Jodeci had a 4-year run, bro. That's it. And it was a massive, it was a special 4-year run. But nigga, off that 4-year run, Drew Hill had a 5-year run. 112 had a 5-6-year run. Jagged Edge had a 5-year run. It was a lot of niggas that came up under that and did it to either equal level, or some would say better. I wouldn't say better. But you know what I'm saying? I think the Jodeci shit is a little overrated, in my personal opinion. But I'm gonna say that and dip out. I'm gonna listen on the slide because I know y'all finna talk crazy.
Oh, it's finna get heated. Don't you worry. And
You know,
you're more than welcome. Hold on,
it-
Earl. Before you go, Crown. Before it
Yeah.
gets respectfully disrespectful, thank you for
Rock.
coming through. Thank you for the
We
interview.
appreciate you.
I will send you the link next week, and you can join us for this mixtape conversation. And we appreciate you coming through, my boy.
Likewise, man. I appreciate y'all having me.
For sure, man. Shopforeveropen.com.
Already know it.
And go stream his music.
Yes, sir.
you know, here's the thing, man. When I bring people in these spaces, I figured that we wouldn't get such blasphemy like was just said. You know, blaspheme, just
Blaspheme.
blaspheme. You know,
I said blaspheme.
blaspheme. You know,
Hold on, Earl. Let me go ahead, man. Let me put the timestamp in, man, because this is I can't wait to do this one. Dog.
You know, I understand why Paul Heyman flipped. I get it now. You know, I get it. I get it. It was an error. Yes, there are a lot of kids walking around because of Jodeci. But you out your damn mind, my boy. You out your damn mind, my boy. I love you like a brother, but you out your damn mind. Let me tell you something, my boy. Nobody ever said, put on that new edition when you into those warm fluff cakes, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nobody ever said, oh, can you put on Candy Girl or Candy Rain when you in those warm, oh, yeah, those fluff cakes, baby. Oh, yeah. Nobody ever said that. No one.
Okay, so this is where I argue with that, because we were talking about, like, different generations earlier. So rest in peace to Pops. I wish I was here to be able to have this conversation. He was here to be able to have this conversation. My nigga, do you know how hard it was to get that in the 80s with fucking Telephone Man and shit like that? I gotta salute him. Like, I have, like, bruh, the Jodeci shit made it so easy. Like, it made it be on it. Stay.
Oh yeah, that's all you have to do.
But shit, Michael Jackson hit the ooh yeah back in the 70s. You know, he made the original All I Do Is Think of You, and True
was the Nehu also.
Yeah. You know, so man, listen, man, I'm not saying that, when it comes to that time, like, you throw on the New Edition. I'm just saying New Edition, just as a group and as a collective, dog, like, man, New Edition ain't no bitch. There ain't no punk bitch, man. Like,
oh shit.
There you go. Yeah, I was just saying, man, New Edition ain't no punk bitch, man. I can't sit here and say the New Edition is just no hoe, Earl. I can't do it. So
I'm not saying they hoes. That ain't what I'm saying.
No,
what I am saying is it is great music. But there's no but really, because I mean they're legends in their own right. But just for R&B, see, it's kind of like it's kind of like like yes, it was a 4-year run for Jodeci, and I'm gonna extend that run and say a 10-year run because of Casey and JoJo.
I mean, you have to
personally, but the fact that because at the same regard, New Edition, we also thinking Belle Biv DeVoe, we thinking Bobby singles, so yeah, like it's
all the different reunion albums, yeah,
Ralph,
man. But
Ralph
even
solo
still,
run, which was brief.
It was about for New Edition. What was it, 82 to 86 before Bobby went solo?
Bobby went solo in like 88, I want to say.
88. Because Don't Be Cool came out at 88 or 89.
Okay. Legendary album.
Okay, cool. So it was a 6-year run for them. I mean, New Edition, I give them all the praise in the world. I'm not going to slander them,
but
because we're on a media run, I'm going to respectfully disagree with my brother here, but he knows what we finna get into off these mics. See, I ain't gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? Because we got business.
He's no longer here, man.
No. We could. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
All right.
But what we are gonna do, and I hope you're listening, but we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it.
We'll have the Triple H Cactus Jack Street Fight version of this argument behind a paywall.
You damn right.
One day.
Okay.
I'm a manifested paywall episodes.
Paywall episodes. All right. Youngin, how do you feel about what Crown had to say and just the debate that we were having that day as far as like New Edition and Jodeci and just in general, gentlemen. I call it gentleman R&B because again, it's serenading, it's so many different things versus just the straight get to it action of the 90s.
I ain't without it. Listen, you know what I'm here for.
That's the problem with you niggas. That's the problem with you young men. That's the problem.
Don't get me wrong.
The serenade is dead.
I feel like honestly and truthfully, when it comes down to it, like you on either sides or you stuck between the two when it comes to the group. And it's like it's a mood thing too. You feel me? At least for me, it is like all right, what I feel like listening to, or even on a personal preference, just sitting here listening to shit. It ain't even gotta be no mood. No, I'm saying no. I got a little female women. Man, nigga, it's been a long day. I don't want to listen to no trap. Let me listen. I'm finna throw on some oldie. So it like for me, it'd be what I'm in the mood for. Obviously, personally, I am more Jodeci. You feel me? But yeah, that's my take.
Okay, so Earl, all I'm gonna say is this: when we'll have that conversation in detail, either behind the paywall or just not on this episode out of respect. But I will just say this: in my personal opinion, I don't think any one of them '90s R&B niggas have top Prince on "Do Me Baby," and that's why I'm like, all right.
No. Be very clear. There's a clear separator between him. He what is it? What they call him on Loki? He Who Remains, and everything else.
Yeah, and ironically, they both purple. I see the 6 degrees of separation. Yes, sir. So
man, double entendre. Don't even ask me.
Ask me how. Yes, sir. All right, but yeah, that era. Okay, Nelson, what are your thoughts on it?
I understand both sides.
But
I'm honestly on the fence. Like, I like them both. Sometimes if I
what I'm saying, like it
if
too.
I want to put some, you know what I mean. I want to put some salt behind when I'm talking to my lady. Like I put on the Jodeci. If I want to be sweet, I put on the New Edition. You know what I mean?
Both sides can coexist. That's the thing. Both sides can coexist. But we just got to call out the bullshit when it is. So what I'm gonna do?
You know what it is, bro?
Go ahead, brother.
New Edition is "I Love You, Baby" music. And Jodeci is "Leave It In, Baby" music. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's how you supposed to do it. See, New Edition is throughout the day. You feel me? You with your lady throughout the day. New Edition is throughout the day. Once that sun go down,
that's when the Jodeci come on.
Listen, man. But listen, and that's the thing because we talk about Babyface, but honestly, a catalyst that doesn't get talked about is Bobby Brown got tired of that shit. Bobby said, "Man, fuck this shit, bro." Like what Ronnie said, man. Bobby got tired of. But that's the thing. You can appreciate Ronnie. You can also appreciate every little step I take, and I need a girlfriend. You know what I mean? So it's duality, as Nelson would say. It's definitely duality, man. But all right. So I do want to get to one of the biggest player haters of all time. I'm gonna read these lyrics because I can't play the damn song because it's banned out. So we were talking about Babyface earlier, and I ain't gonna lie, I've been on an R&B tick lately for some reason. I don't know why. Babyface has some amazing songs. Sunshine is one of the most amazing songs, but let's talk about Soon As I Get Home for a second and how this nigga just ruined the community with this song, man. So I'm gonna read these lyrics up into the hook. And this is what 80s niggas had to compete with, man. I really want to ask my parents about this. I'm going to begin. Hey, come here for a second. I don't like the way he treats you. He doesn't deserve you. He really don't. That's the first 4 lines. That's the first 4 lines.
I mean,
what kind of man would leave you standing in the cold? Must have been a silly one to sacrifice a pot of gold. You're the kind of woman that needs a man that's always there. It's not that you require a lot. You just need some tender love and care. Now let's get to this hook. Now this is where he just went too goddamn far. I give good love. Okay. I'll buy you clothes. All right. I'll cook your dinner too. Soon as I get home from work. I'll pay your rent. Your faithful lover. Soon as I get home from work, I'll treat you right, and I'll never lie for all that it's worth. Yeah, I don't know how my pops and them had to compete with this shit back in the day, man. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I wish I could talk to my pops right now and be like, bro, how did you survive this bullshit, man? Because this nigga said, as soon as I can, not like, hey, man, let me get home, take a little breather for a little minute because I had a rough ass day. He said, as soon as I get home from work.
Bro ain't even wipe his ass from work yet. He ready to do
I'm
all
talking
that.
about he ain't even wipe work sweat
Didn't
off.
put no deodorant on.
No,
You know what I mean? Didn't take a whole bath.
Ain't bathes,
Ain't
nothing.
even take a deep breath, nothing. Even ask how she doing.
Walk straight in the crib. What a steak say,
Yeah,
baby.
he ain't even get asked how he doing. How was work? Nothing.
She must have had that shit that Eddie Murphy was talking. Richard Pryor was talking about when it's
Man,
sunshine.
stop
Coming
about to
up.
say sunshine. Hey, baby,
No,
tell your mom I'm not coming home.
and that's the fucking thing. You mentioned sunshine. The lyrics on sunshine. Dog, the second verse on Sunshine is fucking hilarious, bro. Like, bro.
Excuse me.
He said, okay, so obviously not the chorus, but listen to these lyrics, man. Last night I prayed for you that you will forever be cool because you brought that love into my life. And I got to tell you, baby, the feeling is so nice. Maybe we should settle down and raise a family, a girl for you and a boy for me, because that's how much I love you. Bruh, what? Like, yo, hey, where's she at, bruh? Like, I need. That's the questions that need to be answered. Who is she that inspired these lyrics, bro? Because this nigga,
love music.
that nigga went against the grain. Like, bro, listen, like, fuck them other niggas. I would do anything, bro. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, gentleman R&B, that's some hard shit to compete with, man. Because niggas was getting their feelings off. Like, it wasn't no. And gentleman R&B is the last era of when, you know, R&B was matching suits and stuff like that, and coordinating attire. So, you know, but we'll get into a deeper conversation about that one day. But
I mean, 90s R&B, they were coordinating overalls and shit.
there's a few. You know, Jodeci being one, you know.
Nah,
and
Jodeci was wearing leather overalls and fitteds, bro.
Hey, they was coordinated.
They was coordinated. That's what I'm saying. They were coordinated.
But see, that's the thing. Even with the 90s R&B, like, man, listen, Forever My Lady is a classic, bro. Like, that's incredible record.
You and I, yeah, you and I. The fuck.
Listen, man, like when you're everything I do, I'll cry, man. Come on, man. Like, Jodeci wasn't just, you know, the straight freak bulls, but, you know, they got some records, man. So, you know, like I said, that's another conversation on another platform for another day. But I just wanted to bring it up since Music Soul Child and Anthony Hamilton is a thing. So what are y'all scoring this? Respectfully, I think it's going to be like 13-7. But if it goes 15-5, Anthony Hamilton, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would say like 14-6. Like 14-6.
Okay.
14-6.
I'll say 13-7 because music got like his first 3 albums are really good.
Yeah, they are.
And he has the singles too, which help him. But because you got Half Crazy and Teach Me and Just Friends and all that shit. Like he has a good amount, so I think it'll be 13. I mean, then again, we say that, and then the shit gets the shit's closer than what we expect. So I'll say 12-8. I'll say that because that's the if it gets
passive.
closer,
Yeah.
that's the passive. It may get closer than people think because it happens every verse. Is this this guy's gonna get? Well, no, it's always the opposite. it's always, oh, this person's gonna get washed, and then it becomes closer than what is expected. Then it turns into, oh, it's gonna be close, and then we get Dipset and locks. So
I feel you.
I'm gonna say 12-8. I'll give music the respect.
That's gonna be.
I think Anthony Hamilton gonna win, bro. He gonna pull out one. He gonna pull out a new Jordan for every round.
Listen, man, you can't fuck with a nigga that wear Charlie Wilson top hats, dog. That's all I'm saying.
That motherfucker got Charlie Wilson Jordans, bro. He got brown chocolate Jordans.
He got sweet potato color 11s, G. Like, I don't know.
Bro.
I don't know.
Oh, I told the timeline. I said, Music Soul Child is getting bathed in grits, dog. Like he's going down. Like it's like,
I do think it's gonna be a good one though. I don't think because music got some undeniables. I mean, I don't know how Buddy is going to hit today, but other than Buddy,
I mean, you got Just Friends, Teach Me, Half Crazy, Love. Mm-hmm. He got Love. Damn, he had Love also.
Mm-hmm. Listen, this is gonna be a great versus to watch with a great young lady. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a great versus.
And a plate of neck bones.
Does music have any like notable? Nah, because then like that's the thing. Anthony Hamilton has like those songs that come out like he could fuck around and play Y if he wanted to.
He can. I don't know how that's gonna hit in the verse.
But that's the thing. I don't know how it's gonna hit in the verses though. Like because music doesn't have those type of songs.
Listen, he's gonna get the verses family discount, and they're gonna call Jadakiss, and he's gonna come out.
No, Jadakiss comes out to this. I'm gonna be honest. We gotta have a different conversation about Jadakiss in a minute.
If Jadakiss comes out and wins, it's 20-0.
Oh, you mean about Jadakiss potentially being in a dark contract with Versus for doing all these damn verses? Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. If he comes out for this, we definitely need to talk.
Yo, I don't know what. No, you mean Swiss calling in the favor one and too many more times? Yeah, no, 1,000%. If I see,
it's something going on over there.
Listen, Swiss is definitely hitting that nigga. Like, listen, I remember when Bad Boy dropped you niggas. Y'all niggas owe me. Get your ass out there and battle Jim Jones.
Oh man, I love Jim. I got love for Jimmy, but Jadakiss is smoking him.
If that happens, that battle will literally. I am not joking. I already told y'all Dipset is a myth. Go stream that playlist now. But bruh, Jim and Jada's winning that shit 17-3.
Jimmy.
And you gave him 3 songs?
Jimmy.
I tried to give him 3.
Yeah, no, Jimmy got
Jimmy.
3.
Jimmy.
No, Jada?
Jimmy. Because you know what? Well, nah. Because even Jada never messed around and played something he shouldn't have played.
Exactly.
That's the
Against Jada, like, he's a killer, bro.
But Jada also may not have nothing that he shouldn't play either. So
exactly. So I'm giving Jimmy the respect to say he will put something up, but it's not going to hold up and contest with what Jada's going to put up, and I'm gonna let Nell go from there.
Jimmy, we love you, Jimmy.
Nah, don't beg with this motherfucker. Tell the truth.
Jimmy, we love you.
Weatherman.
Weatherman, Emotionless, Crunk Music, Certified Gangsters, Pin and Tail on the Donkey, the whole MOB album, We Fly High, everything you've done recently because your other 2 members of your rap group
Summer
don't
in Miami, bro. We love
you. Summer of Miami. Trey Songz, you are a nasty motherfucker, but Summer of Miami is an incredible chorus.
An incredible song.
Incredible song.
Incredible song.
Bruh. But Jadakiss is smoking you.
Yeah, like, I mean, out of all the people, I could see Cam saying it, even though I think Jada would, dust Cam too. I do think Cam has a much better chance. But Jimmy?
Nah, Cam don't got no dog in him. That's the problem anymore.
Yeah, Cam don't give a fuck. Cam has not given a fuck for literally.
Cam has not given a fuck in
17 years.
When did Boss of All Bosses 2.5 come out? That's the last time Cameron remotely gave a fuck.
I think he didn't. I think the last time Cam actually somewhat gave a fuck was Killer Season. So that's 06. So that's damn near 16 years now. Like, yeah.
That's true.
I think after Cam knew he wasn't getting that Rockefeller position, and they broke that shit up, I think that's the last time Cam actually remotely gave, because I feel like
that,
Cam.
You know what else? I think.
Go,
Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying go ahead. Go ahead.
Like that, yeah, but also I feel like Cam, once the whole Jay thing was over, I don't know. Cam just didn't seem like it seemed like Jay almost little boyed him. You know what I'm saying? There was just like Jimmy came to power after that, and Jimmy been the de facto leader of Dipset ever since. And realistically, Cam cared about everything but rap music. And even in that Hot 97 freestyle, it was good to see him up there. But I liked it. But if
I mean,
you
it was
want to
good.
tell
It
me
was
that
good
it
to see
wasn't
him.
good,
It was good to see him engaged. Let's just put it that way. That's the most I think Cam's been engaged with rapping in a while.
I heard somebody say he was there spitting cool Mo D bars, and I can't watch that freestyle again.
It wasn't that
I
bad.
saw that
Bro.
tweet.
Come on, man. Listen, come on, man.
Fuck cool
That-
Mo D.
That's just like it sounded like he kind of went to like the 0304 rhyme book and just rapped it and put some shit to make it sound current. It wasn't bad. Like it was cool, but like I'm not gonna go crazy over it.
Listen,
I still think Jadakiss is smoking Jim and Cam because he just knows what to play, and that's nothing against Cam because I could make a 20 for Cam, but Jada's fucking smart, bro. Like Jada, all three of them are way too calculated to like, and that's from seeing them in not even from this verses, but just
in
how
general,
they've carried themselves, seeing them in concert, how they are very good at controlling themselves in concerts. I've seen the Locks. If I count solo times, I've seen 2, 3. I've seen them 5 times. So I've seen the Locks 3 times on separate occasions. What'd you say, bro?
Is it wild to say that I may have Sheik Louch beating Jim in a 10?
Nope. Because here's the thing.
Let me say this.
I'm gonna give the Sheik Louch flowers. I'm gonna do it.
Go ahead. I'm gonna do it. Go ahead.
On the lowest of keys, We Are the Streets is that good of an album that they're like, if you say Sheik was the best person on that album, because it was the Styles and Jada debate has always been discussed, especially with that album, and then obviously that album is important because not only is it the Rough Rider return and like we know the obvious what am I saying, like the obvious situation with that album and what came out from it, but I think now in hindsight, like a lot of people, and I've discussed this before, like people were like, yo, Sheik went fucking off on We Are the Streets. Like Sheik has some, like there are songs where
Sheik has the best song, the best verse on The Essence. Off of the Alchemist album, Sheik has the best verse to me.
Bruh, Sheik has the best verse on Tommy's theme. Sheik's verse is so good, I cut that song off and don't even listen to Benzino and the Made Men. The song is over after Sheik Louch. I don't want to hear a bar with Benzino.
Well, you should because it's Benzino, but that's beside the point.
Like it's no.
That's what I was sitting here thinking.
That's how good Sheik's verse is on Tommy's theme that I cut the song off. I'm like, yo, this is it. I have nothing else to listen to. Like, there's some songs where Sheik is better. Like, she can low key fuck around and give you a good 10. And people, I think the verses made people remind that because Sheik does have good songs. Sheik has Kiss Your Ass Goodbye and Good Love. Everybody forgot about Good Love. I said, if Sheik plays Good Love.
Because if we're going big song for big song,
yeah.
I don't know that today Ballin' beats Blackout or Benjamin's.
So that's where I'm going to just interject.
All money, power, respect.
And chime in and just say that, I definitely let Nell, take it over because again, Nell knows.
I apologize.
No, Nell knows his shit. Nell is not a today Locks fan. He's been there from day one. So
I remember hearing chest to chest when I was supposed to be asleep on Monday night. That's my curfew.
So I just want to say that for somebody who doesn't know music or hasn't tapped into the Locks, in their head they just know Jim Jones for his run today and his run in 06. So they're going to say, obviously, Jim Jones is washing Sheik Louch. But if you really look at it, it's much closer than people think. And that is why I say and I will pass off to Youngin if he wants to comment on this. When it comes to Jada, because we've seen the trio, we've seen the Locks abolish Dipset. Was what it was.
Saying the Locks abolished Dipset.
We saw Jadakiss emasculate Fabulous.
Shout out to Pops. You see, Pops knows.
Yes. Pops, thank you for joining us tonight. Now, all I'm going to say is this. I don't want to see Jada or Styles in another versus unless, God, please, we get the Styles and Jada versus Ray and Ghost versus.
I was about to say that.
Stop ducking the woo. Let's make this shit happen.
I don't think they're ducking the woo, but I would love that.
Well, correction. Swiss Beats. Make this shit happen. You fucking war criminal.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think Styles and Jada win. I'm not going up. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't know that. Respectfully,
hold on.
I don't know that.
This comment got me in tears.
Listen, DMX's Dark and Hell is Hell was one of the first times I bought my own money. I was
took
6.
a lot of shit for purchasing explicit.
He did. I was, bro.
My fault.
Now, Earl, you good?
No, I was saying I don't know that Ghost.
He's not wrong.
Music
He's not wrong.
Is versus music. Respectfully, I just don't know that it's versus music.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say on that, right? I think that Jada and Styles will lean toward the fact that they have the quote unquote more club songs, things of that nature. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think that Ray and Ghost, I think with Ray and Ghost's strategy that they will have, because again, we're talking about two groups and the two brothers in sets of these groups. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying Sheik isn't a part of that three-headed monster, but you know, everybody knows Jada and Styles. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows Ray and Ghost are thick as thieves. So this would be the tag team match, the greatest one that you could ever make, because that dynamic is just immaculate. And I feel like Ghost will surprise people, because I feel like Ghost has some stuff that people forget about, especially in the later years. So that is probably the one versus that is a guaranteed 11-9 if there is a winner. Like, I think
that's an 11-9 battle.
It's not gonna be no 14-6 with that one, dog. Like, that one is gonna be
no, not at all.
And I'm just saying it now. I love Jada. Jada, I'm a cop, please, like Nelson did for Jim earlier. Listen, I got all the Champions Here mixtapes. I bought the I Love You mixtape in Best Buy when it was available. Listen, I love you, Jada, but I can't go against the chef, dog. I can't do it.
That's gonna be tough. They just have, because the thing is, both of them have been in so many songs together.
Shout out to Chloe. Then they have the solo stuff. Then they have the features they were on. Then they have their own solo. Like, this so, bro. That low key, that versus could fuck around and be two verses in two separate occasions. Because like, you literally could give 10 Ray, 10 Ghost, 10 Jada, 10 Styles. You could do the Jada Styles in the verses. Yeah, like
you picking Cream or you picking Benjamins?
You see.
No, answer the question.
Answer the fucking question.
Answer the question. Oh. Let me know if I need to quit this podcast. Answer the question.
Cream versus Benjamins?
Mm-hmm. In a versus.
No, we waiting on you, Nelson, because y'all know my answer. Life as a sword, it shouldn't be so rough. Please answer these questions, young man.
I love Benjamins, but I may have to go Cream.
My man.
That was a great show your work answer.
That was a great show your work. I love them both. I told you, like,
an amazing show your work network answer.
No, that's not an amazing show your work answer. That's another just amazing answer. Like, if you say Benjamins, I'm not going to argue with you, because they are both incredible songs. Like, they are both probably the top 10 songs of the fucking 90s, if you want to be honest. Like,
your ass is about to be a Paul George free agent out here. You pick that.
me. I started this shit. I'll take myself out this motherfucker. I need no Brown this fucking podcast.
He said I started this shit brick by brick.
I
It was
will
put you
cancel.
on the street by street.
I will cancel this bitch.
Motherfucker said, I started this barbecue shit. Is this the motherfucking things I get?
Hey, but I think like you see, bro, like really, this is like there's like so many mini verses in this verses that could be like they could go into the R&B bag, and then Ray and Ghost have their little R&B bag too.
So Chloe,
like there's that also.
Don't forget that Ghostface has his own good music verses as well. So don't like and come on, but I'm just saying, let's not like
Ghostface has new God flow,
and even
Ghost does have new God flow.
And doesn't Ghost, correct me if I'm wrong, aren't either Ghost and or Ray on those Good Fridays?
Ray is.
Yeah, Ray was on both of them are on there.
Yeah. What was Ghost on?
Ray
was on it. Ray was on Lord with that terrible Swiss Beats verse.
No, he wasn't. Ray was on
Is it Christian Dior?
No, he was on Lord.
He was on, no, I'm sorry. He was on
the Justin Bieber too. He was on Lord. You're right.
He was on the Runaway Love remix. You're right, because they used the Wu-Tang Ain't Nothing to Fuck with drums. You're right.
Yep.
But then
I think he was on Lord.
Okay, so I'm looking at. Okay, look.
No, he wasn't.
I got it. Let's hold on. I got it, brother. I got it.
Actually, no. Raycon was on both.
No, I got it. Let's share it. Let's share it so it can be accurate.
And Ray was on the Morning with 2 Chainz.
He's on the Runaway Love remix.
And Lord.
And Lord.
I forgot about that Justin Bieber song.
And hey, side note, guilty pleasure. That shit was hard.
No, it was cool.
I'm sorry, bro. I fuck with that shit. I'm sorry. That shit was hard.
You know that?
Which one? The Runaway Love remix?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shit was hard.
That's not a bad Good Friday song.
It's not the first song I'll play. Like when it comes to the Good Friday songs, more than 9 out of 10 times, the first song I'm gonna play is Christian Dior Denim.
My man.
Yeah, that's the one. That's
the one. Charlie Whitman.
Now, what's the 2?
Kid Cudi was sounding fucking heavily on that song. And he be humming like a motherfucker, but I don't know what fucking meth, what crack they was putting in them vocals. That shit was crazy.
The two gotta be Lord. It gotta be.
Motherfuckers don't talk about my man Lloyd Banks. They go said, handcraft material, champagne for cereal. Shorty stole my heart, criminal, my lucky charm. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, Lloyd. That's
all right. This is a tough list because I mean you got Lord, Devil in a New Dress. You
Raycon's on Gorgeous too.
You got the Joy, man.
That's the one. That's the 2.
Damn,
that's the 2. For me, that's the 2.
Yeah, I'm not.
Joy was amazing.
Yeah, the Joy is. That's a tough one, man. Because Curtis just harming that man and a little sugar, man. Listen,
man.
Yeah, bro.
It was, bro. Like that's, and then I said like the R&B shit, like because obviously Ray and Ghost got the Freaking remix. Ghost has all those R&B features. Jada has a bunch. Styles showed them obviously, and like that shit is crazy, bro. There are so many like. That's such a difficult one. That's an 11 to 9, 10 to 10 for me.
1000%. I mean, that's one of the few battles that I will say the corny cliche, the culture wins, because that's literally like that is
definitely a culture win for that.
That's dog. That is like
that battle's not for the dweebs, bro.
Dog, that's like a Hardy Boys Edge and Christian match, dog. Like you're not gonna be disappointed one bit. Like,
so let me ask y'all this: what's the worst in the Good Fridays?
The worst?
Oh, let me pull the list back up.
Yeah, pull it back up because there's Lord, Good Friday, the actual song.
Oh, there's only one answer.
Christian Dior.
Christmas in Harlem.
Oh, hell no! I play that every
hell no! I like Christmas in Harlem.
I was waiting to see the response.
You are, bro. I've been playing the full version with all the versions.
Only thing I'm mad is that Cam and them. If you look on the streaming version, Cam and them are not on it.
Yeah,
I'm pissed about that.
I still have it on my iPod. With,
I guess.
Merry Xmas Summer's on the justice. Yeah. Oh, Vado.
Take one for the team. Is that
indeed?
That shit was ass.
That is the worst one.
That shit wasn't good.
I mean, because the Power remix. Monster goes without saying. Like
I I like the power remix. I actually really like the.
I liked it too.
I love the second beat with the snap sample.
Yeah,
I know Swiss. Swiss doesn't like. I wish Swiss sampled more because honestly, I feel like he does well with sample beats, but I guess he couldn't pay for budgets back in the day. So
yeah, and the Child Rebel Soldier song was cool, but I mean
cool.
it
It's okay.
it doesn't really resonate. But we'll probably talk about Lupe Fiasco next week when we get into those mixtapes. Because
thank you, Chloe. Take One for the Team is obviously the worst song. But I love that series too because there's a lot of samples that I knew about and are recognizable anyway. Like the Lord sample was, the same sample as Nas Find Your Wealth, which is one of my favorite songs from the original I Am album. Bubble Music is the Cam song. Bubble Music is the Cam song, but is it Looking for Trouble? The one with J. Cole?
Looking for Troubles with J. Cole.
It has the same sample as Bubble
Friday
Music
Night
for
Lights.
Cam. That's the same sample as Cam used for Bubble Music, like shit like that. So I always enjoyed like how that whole series was great. Honestly, there are people who think that series is better than the actual album.
Dark Twisted.
I don't blame y'all.
You know what? I'm not mad at it because if you really look at it, like Monsters, which is on there, Devil in a New Dress, Good Friday, Lord, So Paul, Christian Dior. I can see it. If you take some of them Blavity ass songs off of My Beautiful, I could. I can see.
What was Blavity on My Beautiful?
Let me go to the album.
My Blavity Dark Twisted Fantasy is crazy.
Yo, come on, G. Now I'm gonna tell you this though. Chain Heavy is probably the most underappreciated one. They were getting off on that
because it's quality. That's why. Like
they were getting off on that bitch.
Yeah, let me find the track list because I know the album, but okay. Let me see. I'm definitely not bumping Who Will Survive in America, and I am not going to. I
like the intro of it though. I love that harmonizing "Lost in the World." Oh no. Who Will Survive in America was just the samples here now.
Okay, looking at this album, I'm gonna read the track list off. So, Dark Fantasy is amazing.
That stays.
Gorgeous is amazing. Power is amazing.
Gorgeous might be my favorite song on the album, honestly.
All of the Lights.
I'm not mad at that.
Stays.
Even though I get fucking tired of hearing it now, like I
love that song. I like the beat. The beat's really. I like the beat and like the harmonizing at the end of the song. Like the verses are cool, but I like the harmonizing at the end of All of the Lights.
No, that's a beautiful song.
So Paul is amazing because to me that's Pusha T's coming out party as a
solo.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, Devil in a New Dress. I mean, come on, dog. Especially the guitar. Come on, man.
Yeah, just you don't even debate that. Next one.
All right, this is where like these songs are not bad. Okay, it's just personally I'm not going to Runaway. I'm not trying to hear again.
I understand.
Lost in the World. I'm not trying to hear again.
I can understand that.
Okay. Who Will Survive in America? I'm not trying to hear again.
I agree.
Hell of a Life is good, and Blame Game isn't bad. It's just like put it to you like this: once you get to Devil in a New Dress for me, like I'm good. Like you know what I mean? Like if you honestly do not have these other 5 songs on there, that album is flawless in my opinion. And if you
I would agree with everything.
Can I ask a question though?
Mm-hmm.
Considering how much people revere this album on social media and with the blogger and everything,
of course,
I'm gonna ask y'all a question.
Go ahead.
Don't shoot me.
Be careful.
Is this
be very careful?
Oh, listen, bro. Earl, we here. You understand me. I'm gonna ask y'all because I fuck with y'all.
This is family.
I don't fucking care. Y'all could tweet me at me.
Listen, I'm gonna let y'all know. Volume 60. I'm saying this now, man. I didn't add the drop, man, but like my man said on Mandalorian, I have spoken. Listen, man, we're not giving you dweebs the attention y'all want, man. Go ahead and ask your question, brother.
I always thought I like this album a lot, but I think it's overrated.
Nope, not at all. Nope.
It's not overrated?
I'm going to tell you why. No, not at all. sometimes
because they
everybody
compare it to
gets it right.
certain, they compare it to
It should
certain
be.
albums, and I'm like,
It should be. Sometimes, look,
fair enough.
the Thrillers of the world, the Purple Rains, sometimes everybody got it right. I think what's overrated maybe is the artist and what comes with the artist. Cool. But what I've noticed is for the last 10 to 12 years, especially in this internet era, not saying you specifically, but we sometimes try to find what could be wrong with something that could be like, I don't know that anybody could drop a classic today. Because, and I'm not saying singling you out. No, I'm not saying at all. You're my man, but I'm just saying in general, like there's people that real life question whether or not Beyonce's Untitled album, or not her, but her self-titled album, is it a classic or not? It was a classic when it dropped, just off of the moment alone. And I don't think it's overrated. I think this is one of those instances where it's like Michael Jordan. No, the majority's right in this case.
Well, I guess I'm wrong.
I mean, if I have,
I just think
y'all, what's
just real quick.
overrated, y'all don't like the conversation around the album. I'm cool with that.
Okay, I'll say that. I think it's a great return to form to Kanye, but for me, I'm gonna listen to the first 3 albums before I put this one on. That's just my personal opinion.
And
I'm gonna listen to Late Registration and Graduation before I listen to his album.
I think it's the best hip hop album.
I mean,
be careful when I say this. It's for sure the best hip hop album of that decade, and it's top 5 all time.
I don't know about top 5 all time.
And that's a hill. That's a hill you can bury me on.
Now, is it one of, if not the best of the decade? I could understand that. It's just, I don't know. It's just with me. I don't know if it's just maybe the discourse around that album is very like.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay. But it's a great album. It's just
we are in a stage where liking something or hating something, and nothing can just exist anymore. And I honestly feel like that might have been the last great album that just existed.
That's what I think. Like I understand, and I understand. Like Chloe's making points. It's the best of all time to a certain age group. That's okay. Maybe because I'm different, and like y'all know the albums that I really love and endear, and I speak about, and I will yell to the heavens and make my kids listen to. Like my kids are gonna listen to Mobb Deep the Infamous. I don't fucking care. We're gonna listen to that shit as a family. We're gonna listen to The Blueprint. We're gonna listen to As Dark and Endless High. We're gonna listen.
I think it's better than The Blueprint.
We'll listen to
I think it's better than The Blueprint. I think it's better than The Blueprint. I think it's better than everything that Hove has in his catalog, not named Reasonable Doubt.
So I'm
a Hove stan.
Can I ISO for just a quick minute? All right. So
sure.
Let me just say this. When it comes to that album, like I will say this. My music taste is always personal. Now, it's always great to hear other people's viewpoints. I mean, that's why we do this podcast. And it's great to hear the feedback. And I will say this about this album. When you make a conscious effort to make this art piece that is this album, this is hard to top. Like, you're not going to find a piece like this that sonically just fits together like this. Either you have an album where it's pure skips, skip here, skip there, anything like that. Now, personally, in my personal preference, is so many songs that like I said, the last 5 songs I think could have been swapped out with the Good Friday songs, but it wouldn't have made it sonically better. So when you look at it from that aspect, you can't take that away from this album. And then again, with Graduation, even though I like that album more, sonically, My Beautiful is his best work as far as like just sonically putting everything together. But if you ask me personally, it's certain things I'm willing to argue on just because of the songs and what I like. Like I love Thriller. I'm never gonna disrespect Thriller, but I personally like Off the Wall more than I do Thriller, personally.
Right.
So just like with Graduation, there's songs on Graduation that, and I feel like if a song stands out to me more, like if I'm going back and listening to that song for such a long time, like I could literally listen to the I Wonder instrumental all fucking day long. I've really actually done it before, keeping a buck. So what I'm saying is, and even with 808s, like, yeah, it's some songs that I'm not gonna go back and bump, but again, I will go and listen to Street Lights. I will listen to, Welcome to Heartbreak, Amazing, Heartless to a certain degree, and Paranoid is my favorite song on that album. Before, so I see and I respect both sides of it, but I just feel like, for me personally, I definitely have, if I had to rate my Kanye albums just up until Late Registration, it's definitely, up until My Beautiful. Late Registration's number one. Graduation's number one. Late Registration. My Beautiful, Dropout, I would have to say. Like, because I feel like,
I would say the same.
I feel like
I want to pose a rebuttal question to y'all.
Go ahead.
How did y'all feel about Kanye, the entity, as it relates to when those albums released?
Are you asking like about him just as a human and his actions? And
just everything that came with Kanye. Like, was he obnoxious to you by My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? Were you a super fan? Was he doing too much? Like, what was your perception of Kanye?
Is this a safe space?
Mm-hmm. It's always a safe space, man. You run this podcast. What you mean, bro?
All right. 16-year-old Larry was trying to figure out how much of an amazing woman Amber Rose was, because, man, she had this nigga going crazy. But honestly,
you were 16 when it dropped?
When My Beautiful dropped, I was 17. But again, just the VMA incident was I was 16 years old.
When did My Beautiful drop?
2010.
It dropped 2010.
Black Friday.
Yeah. Yes, you were 17. Yeah.
Now I was 17.
And I'm not being funny when I say this. That kind of puts in perspective why it's where it is. And the only reason I say it is because, for me, I was a 19-year-old sophomore in college. Mm-hmm. So when you're experiencing these things, it's different. It's totally different. And the music's going to hit you different. And the perception is going to hit you different. Now, it doesn't mean you didn't experience it when you got to 19, but it's different when that's happening and you were outside. Like, it's just, like, seeing Kanye on that stage in them sample Yeezy 2s and that all red suit on Coachella, nigga.
So, but that's my thing. Like, and I feel like, and that's a conversation that we can have one day in a bonus episode maybe, but I really want to have a conversation about our favorite, like some of the best hip hop tours of all time, because I feel like the Glow in the Dark tour was just.
Glow in the Dark is the number one all time, and I'm here to argue it.
Bro.
We do have Rihanna opening for him when she dropped Good Girl Gone Bad. What are we talking about? NERD dropped Seeing Sounds and was an opener. Lupe Fiasco dropped The Cool and was an opener. What is there to discuss?
It's the only ones I could think of is that and Up in Smoke. That's literally it. Like
Up in Smoke, Glow in the Dark, and Hard Knock Life tour.
Hard Knock Life tour. Yeah, you gotta mention that tour.
Yeah, I mean, if we looking in retrospect, the Club Paradise tour is underrated because of all the people it had on it. But the people that were on the Club Paradise tour were not nowhere near the superstars that they ended up becoming. Which this makes this all hilarious because with the whole Rihanna thing, it's like Drake, even at the beginning, I forget the name of the tour before Club Paradise, but the tour that he had A$AP Rocky and Kendrick on is hilarious.
That was the Club Paradise tour.
Okay, so what I'm thinking of, because Young can correct me, because you remember this, I'll tell you why you remember this story. But I remember it was Drake, Rocky, Kendrick, and then in the summer it opened up because it was Drake, Cole, Waka, French. It was so many people on the tour. So I don't know if he had an extended leg of the tour, you know what I mean, where he added more people, or if it's all considered, Club Paradise. But the beginning, where it's him, A$AP, and Kendrick, is hilarious just looking at retrospect, because it's like, damn, like Rocky was on tour with him, Kendrick was on tour with him, and then look at where they are now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy how time works when you think about that.
That was an error, man.
That's another conversation for another day, man.
That was a fucking error.
But-
And
It's
listen,
funny.
bro, don't take me as like saying what I said, trying to like little bro you and nothing like that. That's not it.
Ah,
That's
man,
not what
nigga, come
No,
on, man.
that's just
Man,
saying.
I about to say, man, you don't go say
No,
that
because
shit,
I know how
man.
some people be coming off as snobs, bro. Like, no, it ain't that.
Nah,
It's
I
just,
mean, Earl, let me tell you
dog.
something, bro. Let me tell you something.
You said
I
my Holly.
respect you.
Yeah,
I respect you,
no.
dog.
It's fam. It's
That's
fam
just,
for sure.
it's just like if I'm starting to talk about, oh man, Jordan camp out lines in 2011. You can tell me about the shit in 04, 05. Like it's a different feeling. Like, granted, it's the same thing to a certain degree.
No, I was out there with you.
But it's
11, I was out there
but
with
what I'm
you.
saying, but 05, I wasn't outside. It's a different, it's different regulations, it's different processes. It's just like the kids today who go crazy with sports related. By the way, I didn't get a chance to do this. I did it Saturday, but I'm gonna do it here. Lil Ness, the homie, friend of the show. Congratulations, you designed the NBA All-Star jersey for the celebrities. Salute to you, young man. That young man is only, I want to say, 14 or 15. So salute to him and salute to Big Ness. That's a future guest on Show Your Work or just on another one of our platforms. But anyway, I say that to say 2012, dog. Like, kids today will never understand the pandemonium that was the Galaxy phone positive.
Boy.
Never.
And you were in the city when this happened, Earl. So you understand, like, just like if these kids are like, oh, the LeBron Big Bangs will sit. That's cool. That's more Paris for me because you don't know. Like
hey,
even
my guy, believe I will have them. Believe that.
Some way, somehow, 1,000%.
I'll get them. But not. It's just, you know what it is. Because in the same regard, I also can look at it as I may be jaded in how I feel about My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I could be overrated because of my experience and the whole being there thing. We could have all been in some weird mass hysteria of what Kanye was at that time, but it's just like the quality, I can't even really explain it. It just
even on a I'm gonna explain it like this. I'm gonna explain it this, Young, and you can chime in on this. There's something I'm always open and willing to hear anybody's opinion on anything. And again, I never, unless you just say something disrespectful to me, that's when I take it as disrespect. So I never take what you say as disrespect because you're, like I said, you're a respectful person. It's just, you know how to say some disrespectful thing respectfully. You know what I'm saying?
My man.
But,
no, not to you.
No, of course.
To you.
But that just go, I'm going to give you another conversation. Just like if somebody tried to tell me about Juicy J's solo run, I was there for, when certain things popped up. And I can tell you about how the Play Me Some Pimpin' tapes really is what shot him off before zipping a double cup and, different things of that nature. So I can have that conversation. Now, I'm not going to judge somebody who's like, oh, bands and make a dance is, Chloe, you hilarious. But, I'm not finna disregard somebody who's like bands that make her dance or the songs with Wiz or stuff like that. But at the same time, like, I remember, the different variations of 3-6 Mafia. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the different Juicy J solo songs and different things. So because I'm well versed in that, I'll be willing to hear somebody out, but I'm not gonna be like, hell no. Like, bro, it's all about respect. And, but I'm not going to get up and talk about things that I don't know about. Hence why I said earlier, expert, novice. Like, I know what I know, but that's as far as I'm going to go because I'm still willing to learn. So I'm not finna just, act like that. Again, Kanye was definitely probably Kanye and Wayne were definitely one of my favorites back then. You know what I'm saying? Mixtape conversation next week, we'll really get into it, but because Can't Tell Me Nothing mixtape is not talked about enough. But
not at all.
But I just say that to say, man, like, it's all subjective. So I don't take.
I ain't never had a pair of shoes from there. My bad.
Not from Kmart.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of that glow in the dark tour, just to kind of circle back on that.
What's up,
dog? If you ever go on YouTube the glow in the dark tour edits of new songs from Graduation. Oh my gosh,
That's another thing. Like Kanye, that's what he really takes to another level. His concert versions of
oh
songs,
my gosh, dog.
this because he
It's through the roof.
has melodies and harmonies that you could tell were samples that couldn't get cleared, and he's just
Listen, that Daft Punk intro to the to Stronger.
bro. Let me tell you something. Last year, when on this day, damn near, when Daft Punk said we breaking up, dog, like, dog, I was bruh, I didn't want to talk to nobody. That shit hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like I said, it's a subjective conversation.
I still have a theory that Daft Punk was actually the Mario Brothers the whole time, but we
all right.
Man. Daft Punk was on Casa Montel Jordan. You ain't know?
Here we fucking go, man.
Daft Punk being Uncasa is crazy.
That shit is hilarious.
Montel Jordan, I could get.
You know, the funny part about Daft Punk is that that I love about them is you don't know who the fuck they are without their mask, and they've literally been chilling in so many just public places, and people are like, "Oh shit, look at them guys!"
They've been everywhere.
Yo, so that's fucking hilarious. All right, man, let's get to some more funny shit and shenanigans, man.
Oh my god, bro.
Youngin, have you been privy to this timeline conversation?
No, I was too focused on motherfuckers in Golden Corral fighting up a roadkill.
Okay, the Golden Corral video is hilarious. Like, but all right, I'm gonna just sum this up real quick. Long story short, this young lady made a TikTok about how she was going on her.
Man, you know I ain't got no goddamn TikTok.
It ain't about the Well, here's the thing. Even though you're not on TikTok, even though you're on Twitter but not on Twitter, and you live in the Instagram streets, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
This is gonna make its way to the metaverse eventually, if it hasn't already. So the young lady went on a date, and she was very interested in the young man she was dating, and she ended up getting him a gift for the first date. And it was a cigar.
I actually seen it.
See? So you ain't ignorant, Nick. So anyway, it has caused a whole uproar. People are fucking livid. Like, why would you do this on the first date? It's the pick me energy for me. All this bullshit, man. It's like, dog, she bought the man a cigar.
Exactly.
Like, okay, she asked her parents, like, maybe you should have a conversation with your parents sometimes.
She's trying to make a good first impression.
Yeah, it's like, dog, like, man, listen, I'm not one of them.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna end it and then I'm gonna let y'all go because I know where Earl is gonna go and I know where you're gonna go. Listen, I'm not one of those people that's like overly toxic or misogynistic or like that, but dog, ain't shit wrong with gifting the man something. I know y'all motherfuckers think that like. I know y'all think that, you know, just doing something for a man is just blaspheme. You feel me? But, bro, like, come on now. Like, what are we doing? Like, go ahead now.
Where do I start with this shit, bro? Oh, my God. First of all, seeing shit like this on a weekly basis makes me so glad that I'm out the game.
Boy.
Because
send me out the game for me.
Like,
boy,
bro, it's one thing. Like it's like this shit plus like the weekly that women say, oh, if a man does this, he's gay thing, or like the newest funny things to me. Because I'm like, bro, I can't have lemonade. My girl can't buy me a gift, bro. My girl, bro, it makes me wonder. My girl bought me a fucking John Cena Funko Pop the other day. So now my girl, that's a bad thing that my girl does that, or like my girl when I get
the thing about it, dog,
even when we weren't together, like she would, one day, if we got drinks, like she would pay for a round, or like vice versa. Like that's a bad thing now. Like what?
Yes, Nelson, you are a little boy.
She wants to make a first. What'd you say?
I said, yes, Nelson, you are a little boy.
I guess I'm gay. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't make a first impression, bro. Like what if she wanted to make a first impression and show like y'all acting like she fucking like walked over there with dressed like she was in Euphoria to the date. Nah, the shorty gave him a little cigar. Hey, thank you for taking me out. I appreciate it. If the shit don't work, it's not like she fucking bought him a car.
She literally bought him
It's
a
a
cigar.
A
All right.
fucking cigar, bro.
This is the
Also,
thing.
like, bro,
This is the
y'all
thing
are
that we are
ridiculous.
all forgetting. This is the thing that we are all forgetting, man. Like at the end of the motherfucking day, this is not my life. Don't give a flying fuck what someone does in their other life. Can I laugh at shit? Yeah, I can definitely laugh at shit. But as the man Offset said, I believe that all men should stay out of women's business because that's women's business. So if she wants to buy that nigga the
My phone
world,
is bugging. What the fuck is going on?
let
My
her do
fault.
it, dog. What does it affect me because she's being nice to a man, dog? Like, listen, I know that y'all hate men. I get it.
Bro,
I
y'all
get it.
hate everything. Y'all fucking hate.
But listen,
Y'all
all I'm gonna
fucking
say
hate
is
tokens of appreciation. Y'all fucking hate gratitude. Y'all want to be fucking. Yo, I swear to God, in the year of the last couple years, I'm just fully convinced that like people have a insane humiliation loser kink,
King
and it's
Shane.
weird,
Yeah.
bro. Stop being a fucking loser. Stop fucking like be fucking humble. Like if you want to go get that person a gift, fuck it.
Yeah,
Like what's the worst they're gonna tell you? Like the date ain't work. All right, cool. It's not like that's the last motherfucker you ever gonna date. Like you could go do so many other things. Like
man.
And I'm gonna be honest with you
saying like
before you go, youngin.
y'all want
When it
$200. Y'all want $200 dates and fucking 6 foot
Man.
motherfuckers as tall as Kevin Nash with an 850 credit score, a fucking doctorate degree, who can just literally
Man.
pull cash out his ass like Scrooge McDuck and
And
just throw it at you and call you a bitch all in the same sentence.
youngin, let
Bro,
me say this
it's
and I'm
not
gonna
how
let you
this
go.
works.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let you go, bro.
My fault, yeah. I'm going
Now
crazy.
you,
Nah,
Go
you
ahead.
you,
Go
good.
ahead,
You
go ahead, go ahead. I'm
good.
gonna chill out. Go ahead.
you spitting. I'm just gonna say this, man. I would much rather spend some money and find out the person that you really are, so I don't have to spend that money again. And
Boom.
that
Listen,
just is what it
time
is.
and dating is an investment.
That's all it is, man.
That's what you motherfuckers don't understand. This shit is not just like I'm gonna send out a tweet and this woman and like this guy's gonna randomly appear, this woman's gonna randomly appear. This is real dating advice. This isn't that fucking incel bullshit that we've been hearing about the last 2 weeks. Talking about, oh, if this girl leaves you and she don't want to fuck you, go to the next one. Call another. Nah, you just a fucking weirdo. You really don't get pussy if you do that shit. That shit is just strange to you. That's just you desperate.
Listen, man.
I'm not taking. I mean, depends if you want to do that. If you know how to do that
What was
correctly.
that sound effect?
Listen. I personally am not taking dating advice from a man who was a Fed and used to be on the rowing team and get hugged by white men all over Instagram. That's another discussion for another day. Go ahead, my fault.
Whoa. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
they dug up the IGs. He was the token.
Hold
Let's put it
on,
that
because
way.
I don't even know what's going. I'm lost
I
when you
don't.
just said
Are you
that.
talking? Are you talking about?
Yeah. That podcast. Yeah.
Man, no, bruh.
I'll tell y'all off air.
No, okay, because I'm gonna say is this, man. Listen, if y'all want some real shit and don't want to be lied and misled to, listen to Show Your Work Network, man.
Bro, go outside and talk to women.
That too.
Fresh and
Like-
fit, you'll lose your bitch.
They don't got no bitches to lose. Yeah.
All right, man. And speaking of you fucking,
But now,
go ahead, young.
Go ahead, young.
Go ahead.
so like, because like I seen the video, but I was at work, so I couldn't like watch it, and I ain't like, and I didn't go back, it's like revert back to it. So from my understanding, she just got to do a cigar for under a first impression. I don't know no more than that. So coming with my little understanding that I do have, and just seeing like folks going off about her getting them a cigar and shit like that, like ask any female, what you want for a first date? I want a guy to bring me flowers, take me here to. All right, so bitch, I can't get a cigar.
Bro,
You took that person.
I took it.
listen, lady can't even buy you a fucking lemonade.
Like, come, like, I'm
Shorty can't
already
even
like,
buy you. You can't.
man,
You
shout
can't
out
even.
and when they
You can't
got,
even go with Shorty to the mall. She can't even buy your Auntie Anne's sweatshirt.
man,
Let
shout
me
out.
tell
Look,
you something, man.
I done booked the barbershop appointment. And what y'all don't know is, shit, some niggas got to get there a little bit early just to lock their place in, even though it's an appointment, because some barbers petty. 5 minutes late, you might lose the slot type shit. So, boom. All right, I done
Or
tipped the
your barber's late too.
or your barber's late. I done tipped the barber a couple dollars extra just to make me look, know what I'm saying, extra crispy me up. I done went home, I done cleaned up the crib, I done cleaned the car out. I got my good cologne on. I probably ain't need smoke. This just for me. I probably ain't need smoke just because I just don't, you know what I'm saying, had the weed ambiance. You might not like this. Just don't have the weed aroma around me. You feel me? And bitch, I gotta get a cigar. I'm about to take you to wherever little restaurants you want to go to. Spend however many dollars on their plate, and new females, y'all want seafood, and that shit is at market price. Like man, I can't get a cigar. Man, you bitches gonna forever be lonely. Forever.
Oh my god, I don't understand, man. Like, bro, like you can't even be nice. Like, it's like they want it. Like, and I'm not saying they, because not every woman wants this. Like, first of all, yeah, I'm gonna put that
Bro,
context
and then
because
it's
motherfuckers
my
don't
bad, brother.
listen. They don't listen.
Nah,
They
youngin,
don't
get your
read.
shit off,
They
nigga.
don't
You
comprehend.
quiet as fuck normally.
You know, go
Get your
ahead.
shit off. Get your shit
Younger. I'm gonna go in the
off.
corner. Go ahead,
Cause
bro.
like I
Well,
like,
24
all right,
7.
cause
Hey, so
y'all
everybody clear their
know,
name.
y'all on when it comes to the social media, y'all on all the platforms. So when they do come to the TikToks and shit, yeah, I see my TikTok on Instagram or Facebook or you feel me, some shit like that. So I'm scrolling on Facebook today, and I see a screenshot of a female TikTok. Bro, I kid you not, and I'm not looking. This is how pissed off I was at when I seen it, because I remember this shit. I seen this shit at probably like 12 o'clock. Bro, it's 11 one. It's 11 o'clock my time. Bro, the fucking screenshot, the shouter said, I've been begging this man for months to open up to me. Y'all, why he just called me crying and I blocked him? Bitch!
Like,
I
look
ain't,
at what the fuck you encountered on your timeline.
like,
This is
bro,
hilarious.
this ain't no He-Man, woman hater
Nah, we
club,
love
none of
him.
that. Man, my baby in the back right now. It took me a minute to start opening up to her. Man, I wish a female, man, bro, I wish I would pour out I ain't even gonna say pour out my heart. I wish I would trust you enough to be like, yeah, I can call you. I feel like I can call you chronic. Bitch, that might get something exposed. I'm sorry, I might be a little boy that day. Just because you play with my feelings, you've been begging me to open up. I finally do it, and it's the result of it. Yeah, I might be a little bitch ass nigga that day. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Men have feelings too, but that y'all don't want to hear that shit. But
They don't want to hear that.
It's cool. You know, I'm gonna just end off with this. Just mind your business, bro. It's just what this shit is. Just mind your business, bro. Like that. Like, listen, man.
Hey, give him the Will Smith twitch when you mind your business.
Listen,
But,
man.
like,
if you know that you can't afford a certain lifestyle, don't live that certain lifestyle. Chloe mentioned earlier that, you know, when she was, you know, in 2012, she was still wearing shoes from Kmart. So here's the thing, right? In that retrospect, you have to respect it, because even though it's like, damn, it's Kmart shoes, right? You have to respect the fact that her parents were like, hey, I can't afford this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get what the fuck I can afford. Exactly. And that's cool. Problem is, you niggas want to live behind these niggas that you idolize, and then when rent due, you like, damn, because you done spend it on some bottles, you done spend it out, you know, on so many different things. So it's like, what are we doing? You know, it's just, man, it's crazy, man. But yeah, y'all weird for this cigar talk shit, man. So
look, social media let me know every day. Bro, just stay in your business. Just stay in your lane, bro.
Exactly. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna combine some topics into one big topic so we can wrap this joker up, man. Let's talk some football for a minute, man. Let's get real.
Let's just talk sports in general.
There we go.
Let's get toxic. Let's get
toxic.
toxic.
Let's talk sports in general right quick.
The Washington fucking Commanders, man.
Hey, please tell me I ain't the only one that's saying this. We are Commanders.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes, sir. I seen it.
Yeah, I
Fam,
seen
Listen,
it.
y'all
bro.
took
Yes, sir.
y'all took damn near 3 years to come up with this.
To come
The
up with Commanders?
Commanders.
But come, man.
Bro.
Hey, bro. God for, bro. I can't, bro. Watching one of them white radio hosts call them the commies for short.
The
Man.
Washington, like
Commanders.
the Washington, they could have called themselves the Red Wolves. It was right
It was
there.
right there.
The
It was right
Washington Red Wolves was right there.
Dog.
When in doubt, go Animals.
Go
They could have
Animals.
just called
Nah.
themselves
Go
the
Animals.
Red, bro, and just changed the face. Nigga, like
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I still, and it's been
They could have stayed the Washington football team. For all I give a fuck.
13 years now. It's been 13, 14 years. I still don't really care for the OKC Thunder. Had they not had Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook there, I wouldn't really care for the team name like that.
No, for real. Because
I didn't like the Bobcats. I
No
get
one
it.
liked the
Bob Johnson
Bobcats.
was the founder, but the Bobcats I didn't care for.
That
Even though
was
it's an animal, I just felt like
yeah, that was
something else.
that was ridiculous. Because
For Charlotte,
But even
you
that,
could have
it
associated
made
you could have associated a different animal for Charlotte though.
for sure.
yeah, but the, okay. And me and Nelson were on Clubhouse. Oh God, that had been a year ago now. When the Cleveland Indians got switched to the Cleveland Guardians. When they had that announcement room and we was doing back in the day like the We Are Sports days and stuff like that. We a long time ago. So, these names as of late, bro, like what happened to good names in sport? And maybe, you know what? I'm gonna have y'all on Guessing from the Stands, man. We really gonna take a deep dive of what happened to good names in sports and when did it go wrong?
See, the funny thing is I promise I'm not trying to be problematic. I legit didn't know that they switched to the Guardians. I heard
I
that.
swear to God,
I heard that they were going to, but I did not know this. So is that a new thing of this year, or is that like next season they'll be the Guardians?
Starting whenever pitchers and catchers report, they will be wearing Guardians gear.
Wow.
Yeah, they'll be Guardians effective this year if there is one, because MLB doesn't know.
Yeah,
MLB doesn't swaggerless. I still need that soundbite.
Yeah, no, okay. Listen, man. Certain cities just go through it, and Washington is one of those sports cities that they just go through it from time to time. Outside of hockey, they just go through it. So,
you're the Nationals.
I mean, prayers up. All right. Will y'all please leave these women journalists alone? Please, man. Like, bruh.
Mina Kimes is right, bro.
Leave them alone, man.
Mina Kimes is right.
For the love of God, leave them alone, man.
Mina Kimes was right.
Here's the thing. I'll jump off the porch. How do I say this properly?
First of all, hold on.
Mina Kimes, no. Mina Kimes was right.
See? Told you can't. Just let it out, bro. Just let it out.
Nah. It may be something going on with connection, man. Because if he was going to say what I think he was going to say
about... See, God be knowing. My Wi-Fi said God be knowing. But listen, here's the thing. Mina Kimes was right. Let's isolate that first. She was right in that statement. Everything that she had said had been rebuttal or been regurgitated by other analysts. I don't think that you need to have played the sport to have a valid take on the sport or a valid analysis, because if that's the case, none of us should be talking about rap music if you're not rappers.
Yeah, this podcast would just be youngin'.
And y'all know my quiet ass. It'll be a Pootie Time podcast around this bitch.
Hey, what's crazy is it keep doing it when I'm going there. All right, yes, none of us should be talking about sports if we're going to keep that energy that Jeff Garcia brought to Mina Kimes. I didn't want to do this.
I know what you were about to say.
I didn't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to do it.
Go ahead. He deserves it.
Jeff Garcia. You cannot make that kind of statement. See, a John Elway, a Peyton Manning, a Tom Brady can make that kind of statement. It's still wrong, and it not be perceived as sexist. You can't make that statement about being this expert when you fumbled having T.O. and Jerry Rice as a damn receiver.
You went 6 and 10 with them.
You can't make that
You went 6 and 10 with them.
You went 6 and 10 with Jerry Rice and T.O.
You fucking
You,
stink.
sir, cannot make that statement. And on top of that, Mina Kimes, for all intents and purposes, doesn't have to put on pads to know what she sees. If she sees mediocrity, it's mediocrity. She don't have, it is what it is. Now, granted, I do think that there's a certain level of expertise that when someone does it for a living, you can't tell them. Like, at the end of the day, I cannot tell an NBA player or an NFL player certain things about what the reality of and why they may have failed. To an extent, yes. Or succeeded. Yes, there are certain things you just won't know. You won't be privy to game plans. You won't be privy to a lot of things. But Jeff Garcia, you're not the guy to be able to say that. And Mina Kimes is right.
I mean,
again,
you're not that guy, pal.
And here's the thing:
you're not that guy, pal.
Even if, and you're right, because even if it would have came from Steve Young, even if it would have came from Joe Montana, it still would have been the same comment. But again, the credence is Steve Young has a Super Bowl and Joe Montana self-explanatory. So it's like,
yeah,
I get it, but it's just this thing, man. It's like, leave Maria, Taylor, Katie Nolan, leave these women alone.
Now, on the flip, I will push back on one thing. I do feel like if you're going to get in the fire, unfortunately, you have a risk of being burnt like anybody else. As much as we slander Stephen A. Smith and we slander, name it, Skip Bayless and Nick Wright. Yeah, women sportscasters are going to get slandered too, but it has to stay within the context of, because you don't see nobody ever trying their manhood, right? You don't ever see nobody trying Nick Wright's man. You can say, dog, that was a dumbass take. Like how the fuck did you come up with that? And it be that. It don't gotta be the undertones of, well, you're a woman, so what you're saying is about. It don't gotta be all that. It can be just like we fire up the Slandergini on Stephen A. Smith for what he said. Fire it up on the win. If you're gonna participate, unfortunately, ladies are gonna have to deal with what comes with participating.
See, that's the thing.
It has to stay within the context of the conversation, not who they are as people.
You see that I did not mention Jemele Hill because Jemele Hill rightfully gets slandered for her takes, but it's because of her.
And to be fair, Jemele Hill gonna fire back at your ass.
Well, that's true. But 1,000%. But my point is, Jemele Hill is a case of, okay, she has the stupid takes, so she gets what comes with that. You know what I'm saying? But for these other ones, like Nelson said, it's just like this thing where it's like, ooh, it's a woman. Like, ooh, let me argue with a woman. And it's like, dog, the shit just getting out of hand at this point, bro. And it's like, and I don't want to sound sexist or anything like that, but this is how you get people into believing that women can't be on a sports show, that they have to have an all-female show, and that's not the case. Whatever, it's just the fact that, bruh, just like I'm talking to you right now, if you disagree with somebody, respectfully disagree. You don't have to go into the whole, you don't have to be a Jeff Garcia. And Jeff Garcia has a lot of nerve, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all can do y'all Googles, and I will just leave that alone.
now, what I will say is this: if Jeff Garcia were to have said that to Nick Wright, say, "Who the fuck is Nick Wright? He's never put on a pair of pads and this, that, and the third," I don't think he was trying to be sexist in what he said, but he had a sexist moment.
He didn't read the room.
I don't think he was trying to be. I don't think his intent, because he didn't mention anything about her being a woman at all. And we do got to take what he said as what he said. I don't think he was trying to say it because she can't play in the NFL or she can't play football. I don't think so. But inadvertently, it happens. It's like if you accidentally shoot somebody. I ain't mean to, but I still got to deal with the ramifications that I shot somebody. And it's the same principle here. Same principle here. Unfortunately, you got to deal with what you did. So
Fair
that's
enough.
what it is. You may not have been sexist, but you had a sexist moment.
All right, fair enough. So let's go into the next thing about the NFL. And since I mentioned Montana, man, that boy Tom said, man, y'all, I'm gonna say the shit. Fuck what you gotta say, Adam. I'm gonna announce the shit. like that. That was the greatest moment. Like I literally said, okay, Tom Brady literally said, I've got this whole announcement planned out. I'm pretty sure there's a bag behind this. I'd be damned if Adam Schefter, with his intelligence, is gonna leak this out before I officially say, nah, my boy, like we ain't doing this. So, Tom Brady, man, I don't think you will ever get a better success story from the 6th round, 199th pick in the NFL draft.
Greatest underdog of all time.
Literally went from underdog to overdog and should have been dog. Because the one thing about Tom, even though the New York Giants do have 2 Super Bowl victories over him, those games were close. And it was not his fault about the defense, nor was it his fault with the defense for the Eagles' loss. Mm-hmm. So if we're being honest, really and truly, the only 2 times Tom, in my opinion, should have lost the Super Bowl was the Seahawks and the Falcons. But again, the Falcons blew that, and the Seahawks, Pete Carroll was an idiot for that. So that being said, really and truly, Tom could have 10 rings. Really and truly could have 10 rings. And I don't foresee anybody. I'm sorry. I respect Pat Mahomes for what he is, but I don't see him getting that, man. And honestly, I think the league is starting to figure him out. So he's going to have to, they're going to have to switch some things up eventually. But, I don't think anybody's going to touch Tom, man. And especially for him to last as long as he did, literally took over the AFC, went to the NFC, took that over. Like, you're not going to get anybody to fuck with Tom, man. And it is what it is, dog. Like, he's the GOAT. Like, you can run from it. You can hide it. You know what I'm saying? But that motherfucker is the quarterback Thanos, dog. Like, you cannot fuck with Tom, dog. If you have the ball with 2 minutes left on the clock, there's no better quarterback to get it than Tom Brady. Sorry.
I would have to agree. I mean, listen, my New York Giants beat him twice, so we have that distinction, I guess. But Tom is one of the greatest to do it. I mean, he did cheat a couple times, but no, in all seriousness, yeah, man. I mean, you can't. A 6th round pick being one of the greatest to do it is crazy. Like that's how I think about it. Considering how much he's accomplished, how long he was able to play the game. I mean, 22 years, 7 Super Bowls. Like, that's just, I don't think we ever going to see that again, honestly.
And I'm going to just say this before Earl goes. You have to also give credit to Belichick, because Belichick legit was under Bill Parcells. That ESPN documentary that they had on them was really good, Bill and Bill.
Yeah, the two bills.
Yeah. Like, they chose Parcells. Bill goes off, and then he goes and he eventually gets a Patriots gig. And then, like, the one thing about Brady, which is why he is definitely the GOAT for sure, and this is no disrespect to, any of the other ones, because Montana is still my favorite. But, dog, let's keep it a buck. Brady was out there winning with Deion Branch. He had Randy Moss for that 1 year, but even we all know that while Moss was good that year, that's not Moss. You know what I'm saying? So for Brady to literally take, these receivers, tight ends, running backs, and do what he did, you ain't gonna find that shit, dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That to
No,
me is
100%.
a pure GOAT. You can argue about Mike having Scotty and Kobe having Shaq and all that, but when it comes to who did Brady have, yeah, bro, yeah, it gets wicked, bro.
I
He's the
said,
GOAT.
let's get real little.
It's
No,
wicked,
definitely.
man.
Yeah, I
Was the
mean,
end of an era, man.
Yeah,
at this point, the only conversations I'm roughly entertaining are Jordan, Serena, Tiger, you know, so on and so forth. That's it. It's transcended football at this point. It really has. And I mean, Tom Brady, he has a case for greatest team sports player of all time. Um, I hate the whole athlete. He's not that athletic thing, but you're an athlete. You're an athlete. My athlete may not be the same as your athlete. You know what I'm saying? So I don't particularly care for that. So in the grand scheme of things, Tom Brady is a case for greatest athlete of all time. Maybe not best. Best is now when we start talking about actual physical attributes. So, but as far as greatest, yeah, he's got a case.
hey man, all I'm gonna say is
Yeah.
to cut you off respectfully.
Oh, you
None
good.
of you niggas played in New England, freeze your nuts off weather for 20 straight years, dog. Like, nah, I ain't listen.
Yeah, no, it didn't happen.
It
None of
didn't
you
then I
niggas,
leave.
fuck that. None of you niggas came from cold ass Michigan to go to cold ass New England
even colder ass New England. Like,
Mind
yeah.
for
you,
20
I'm a
straight years.
California kid. I'm a
Yeah.
California kid.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Tom is a
I'm
East
saying,
Bay boy.
exactly.
And I think he lived in, I forgot where he moved to during those years, but he didn't live there. Like, he would travel to New England every year to go through the blizzard, you know what I'm saying? And won when
Yeah,
he won, dog. Like, you can't, listen, man, it ain't gonna never be another Tom Brady,
never
dog.
again.
It will never be another Tom Brady, man. Like, listen, they need to name the quarterback trophy the Tom Brady Award, bro, because it ain't gonna be nobody. And all I'm gonna say is this before we move on to our last topic, which is gonna be coach, bruh. Tom did cheat, but he just got caught, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it
I
at
ain't gonna
that.
say Tom Brady cheated.
No,
I'm gonna
Tom
say
didn't cheat. What I'm saying, the Patriots
the
organization
organization
did.
cheated. In every organization does.
That's what I'm saying. They just happened
They
to
said
get
they just
caught.
got caught.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
and
not
then
faulting.
and let's wrap this up, man. Brian Flores.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Salute. Brownsville, Brooklyn. I learned today that he's from Brownsville, which I did not know. So shout out to him.
Let me ask this question. Because I know it was wrong. It was talked about that he was still interviewing with the Saints.
And the Texans.
Do you think the Texans are that desperate to cover up the shame of everything that's happened with Deshaun Watson by hiring Flores? Do you think it's that, or do you think they're genuinely interested in him as a coach?
Well, they were. I think they were genuinely interested with him, but the Texans owners are pieces of shit, and they're gonna try to do everything to get some type of positive publicity considering the Deshaun Watson situation. So I would not be surprised if they try to hire Brian Flores.
That was my whole thing, and
Even though I'm sorry, bro, just real quick. Even though I do think he is qualified to run an NFL team, and it's funny because the Dolphins was on some bullshit. Like even before this whole this whole thing came about, I always felt like the Dolphins were on bullshit with him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think he's still qualified to run a team. I just feel like I don't think the Saints would do it. Like the Saints would be honest with him. But like the Texans, just something just feels weird about the Texans. I feel like they would just hire him just to be like, yeah, we still get like, look, guys, we gave him a chance. You know what I mean? Like it would just be some performative shit.
And that's what I was gonna say. It's just I don't want to disregard that man's skills, but I know bullshit when I see it, and I feel like Houston is going to do something, whether it's Flores or something, to try to wipe away the fact that they knew about this whole Deshaun thing for a long time and chose not to act on it and are just pieces of shit, like I said. So, like you said. So, I mean, there's nothing else that really needs to be said, man. I mean, this is just what we've all known, and it's just getting put into the spotlight. So I do feel bad for him, But at the same time, I do respect him 100 grand for being willing to risk his career by doing this.
And he's
And
young too. He's only what 40, right?
I don't even think he's 40. I
I
think
think
he might be.
he's barely 40. Like
And I would just want to say that, you know, Young, and you can attest to this. I feel like what happened with Gruden is just a testament of what's going to start happening with the NFL. Like as far as
Yeah,
like
it's a
just
domino effect.
yeah,
It's a
and
domino effect. But we
you know,
said that, and I don't mean to cut you. Obviously, I don't mean to cut you off right quick, but we said that when it happened. This is just the beginning.
and notice too that these are not, you know, little small markets that this shit is happening. Like
Exactly.
the Dolphins can be trash as fuck for the
But that's
rest
a
of
big
eternity.
market team.
Those jerseys are still gonna sell. Those hats are still gonna sell.
Miami a
the
big
Giants,
ass.
the
Miami
Giants
is a
too.
major city. The
The Giants
Giants
are
too.
trash and look.
The Giants are trash. That's gonna sell, and the Raiders are the Raiders. So it's like
Exactly.
it's not like we're dealing with, you know, a team in the past that might have been overlooked like Cincinnati or something like that. This is, you know, any NFL team is major, but we're talking about Miami here. Like, you know, despite what some of my reggae boys may feel, they're gonna wear them fish hats. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, salute to Brian. He will be 41 in a few weeks, and it is tough. I can only imagine, you know, having to just deal with this. But I mean, listen, man, you gotta take a stand at some point, man. And I mean, New York is looking even more stupid now because all they had to do was hire the right Brian, and well,
Which they did not do.
Which they did not do.
And
I
I just
mean,
want
I do get and just real quick too, because as a Giants fan, I don't like it, but like I do understand the whole, you know, the GM was the GM in Buffalo, Brian DeBoer was the OC in Buffalo. I understand that, but it just still looks very funny in the like considering this whole thing and the Bill Belichick text messages, like, bruh, these text messages, emails, all this shit is just gonna make things very ugly in the future
if
because it
you
seems like these motherfuckers just don't care. Like they understand what it is, and it's like, all right, whatever. Like the Rooney Rule to me, like yeah, the Rooney Rule. I understand with the Rooney's what they wanted it to be, but of course, it's some performative shit. Like it's just crazy how, like even with the NFL, like with the Super Bowl halftime, and like look at all those acts that are going to be on the Super Bowl halftime. Meanwhile, we're dealing with this. Like it puts up like it's just now they're dealing with the Brian Flores shit, and nobody can hide from it because there's text messages and there's concrete numbers. Like this isn't Deflategate. Like it is. There's only one black head coach, right? It's just Mike Tomlin. That's it, right? Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. I
Because
think it's
Brian
just Mike
Flores got
Tomlin.
fired.
Yeah, that's it. It's just Mike Tomlin.
The Texans
Mike
coach
Tomlin.
got fired.
And even Mike Tomlin was on the hot seat, a quote unquote hot seat, a few years ago. So I mean,
Well,
Mike Tomlin
to
don't win a
be
Super
fair,
Bowl, bro. He would have gotten fired. Like Earl, let me ask you this: If Mike Tomlin didn't get that Super Bowl, how quick would he got fired?
2 Super Bowls.
Can y'all hear me? Y'all hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm saying to be fair on that, Mike Tomlin getting fired back then was because he lost his locker room.
That's true. But I'm just saying to add to the point that like if he got fired, not saying it wouldn't have been justified, but I'm just saying that would have just been one less black coach than what's already there. So yeah, because you are correct.
You know
like,
what it is? Every time I'm finna get into a bag, they always be trying to stop me. But listen, but Mike Tomlin almost getting fired was because he lost his locker room. Yeah. And that's really what it boiled down to. It wasn't a racism thing. It wasn't nothing like that. Mike Tomlin legitimately lost his locker room. Now, granted, he's gotten a lot of young guys in there. So now it's a whole different squad. But when Antonio Brown was there, you had the Le'Veon situation. You had LeGarrette Blount getting arrested for weed and, Martavius Bryant getting arrested for weed.
It was some rough years.
It was a rough few years.
Black and yellow.
And it wasn't about, that the Rooneys were racist. No, Mike Tomlin had he lost his locker room. Once he got them young guys in there, the TJ Watts of the world, Juju Schusters of the world. You make a trade for Michael, not
TikTok
Michael
and
Parsons,
receiver.
for
Corvette. Yes, he
yeah,
didn't want to
that
say it,
phone.
but yes, but Michael Parsons.
You make a trade
yes.
not for Michael Parsons, for the Dolphins. Minka Fitzpatrick.
Minka Fitzpatrick. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, you get a
I
Joe.
get those
Yeah,
names.
once you get that in there, things turned around for the Steelers. So yeah, no, but even still, Mike Tomlin being the only black head coach in the league. I mean, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, people got to understand something, man. It's still a good old boys club.
At the end of the day,
And truth be told, I know this is gonna burst a lot of people's bubble. The NBA ain't that far off either. It just may be a little more progressively outward, but these are still billionaire white men that own these teams.
I mean,
So,
just to cut you off, even with the NBA, yeah, dude, man, listen.
Still a good club.
All due respect, man. But how many times are we gonna see Stan Van Gundy get another job? And I'm not disrespecting him saying that he's not a good coach or he didn't deserve to be in his position. But what I'm saying is you're correct. Like, how many times are we gonna see the same coaches? At this point, I'm waiting on somebody to get fired so Vinny Del Negro can get another job. Like, you know what I mean?
What does he do now?
Let me Google that.
Sell cars. I don't know.
What does Vinny Del Negro do?
But that's what I'm saying. Just in general, like every fucking year, it's like, oh, Van Gundy, like, it's the same. Mike Brown, like, it's like, God, I mean, I love him, but I'm just saying, it's just the same. Vinny is on NBA TV. That's what he's doing.
Wow. I was gonna say, he sell life insurance.
He's on NBA TV, and I know this because like
Vinny's
when
on
DMEs,
he's because when they do like the pre-games and stuff like that, he's an analyst on it. I just be forgetting that that's him. But yeah,
you're right here.
So he's the nigga we skip on 2K.
There you go. the Italian that you skip on 2K. But yes.
Wow.
But yeah, nah, Del Negro, nigga. Okay, all right. Anyway,
Hey,
6 degrees separation. But now, honestly, just to wrap all this up, yeah, man, like it is a good old boys club. It is, a bad thing, but I mean, what Brian may be doing is opening the doors so that the real change can take place. Because again, it takes a bold individual to do this and to risk their careers. But same thing is like, man, listen, if you ain't afraid to walk in the light, you're gonna be all right, bro. So it's like, it is what it is, man. Like he'll be fine, and if he gets another NFL head coaching job, great. If he doesn't, then it is what it is. But I mean, more will be revealed.
Well, that's a fact. But all right, who y'all think gonna win the Super Bowl?
I haven't decided yet.
I ain't made up my mind.
There's a lot.
I'll say I haven't either, honestly.
I am personally not ever going in my life going to root for the Rams, so I'm going Bengals.
Oh yeah, they did mollywop y'all. What year was it? Wait, no, who's your squad?
Jets.
My squad's the Jets, bro.
My squad's the Jets.
You're a Jets fan?
Yes, I'm a Jets fan. It's a terrible life, Earl. It's a horrible life. Herm Edwards, dog. Herm Pennington. That was like, yeah.
Herm Pennington. Who else is there?
Lavernius Coles, Santana Moss,
Keyshawn, Chris Martin.
Chris Martin. Yep.
Curtis, you mean Curtis Martin?
Okay. Curtis Martin. I mean, not Curtis Martin. Yeah, okay. I get it.
Madden 03, dog.
No, I got you.
No, literally, Madden 03. Like, that's how it happened.
Long time from now. But yeah, I get it.
But no, listen, I don't give a even being a Tennessee native, just watching them beat the Titans when they were St. Louis growing up, I can never root for the Rams, dog. Like, it's the Rams.
Show on turf.
Fuck them niggas, man.
Yo. I mean, disrespectfully,
respectfully, fuck them. Like, yeah. So that's my thoughts on it, man. It would be fun to watch Burrow win one. But at the same time, Burrow did play for LSU. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, Burrow played for LSU. Stafford played for Georgia, and that's just nasty. Nah, I don't give a damn, man. But personally though, Cincinnati winning in LA after losing to the 49ers in the 80s would be hilarious. And for them to beat LA in LA would be even more hilarious. Like, LA has to win this. If they don't win this, they scaring the hoes. So yeah.
Won't be the first time, but
won't be the last either. But we'll see if Rams superfan YG will be in attendance.
Oh, you know he will.
Oh, man.
I just don't know if I'm just not sure yet. There's a lot of pieces that have to happen. Wait till we get to media day, and I can give you some kind of analysis of what I think is going to happen on the game.
Okay. We'll save it for next week.
All I'm gonna say is if Odell gets a Super Bowl ring, man, y'all
Let's
better watch out.
If he does, it helps.
Listen, Odell Beckham Sr. is father and executive of the year.
Yeah. I'd have to.
Aside from Earl, that's about it. But yeah.
I ain't get my boy to the league yet. So yeah, you got me beat.
But Odell got his kid taken away from the shackles of Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
AKA Chad Pennington with a TikTok account. So
am I taking Baker or Chad Pennington?
I'm taking Chad Pennington.
What year is this? What year?
Listen, bro, I'm taking Chad Pennington with a pulled pork shoulder, bro.
I was gonna say, man, you mean Johnny Manziel? Like, don't disrespect.
I'm sorry.
He wasn't a bad quarterback.
John Kidner with a TikTok account. My bad.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
Now we can start. Now we can start talking about. We can start talking about Ryan.
Dance, bitch.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, dance, bitch.
Dance, hunky.
So yeah.
Can that be the title of this podcast?
No,
it cannot.
Dance, hunky. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. The FCC will be coming for you, dog.
Listen, they gonna come for us anyway. Like when we do the racial draft, we probably gonna have to come up with code names so we don't get fired. Like, dog,
that racial draft.
Hey man, God forbid we start doing episodes with paywall, bro.
Y'all funny, man.
Hey man. But listen, this has been another fun episode. Before we get out of here, I want to thank you to everybody in the
holy shit.
comment. Well, you
came. I came late,
yeah,
but still, I'm like,
so,
damn, y'all, that was ain't for late.
We'll talk more off here, but I just want to say everybody who came in the comments, appreciate y'all. Listen, being serious, 15 seconds. Y'all just don't know, man. So for us to make it to 60 episodes and at the rate that we're going, like, it's much appreciated, man. Like, it's been plenty of times we've been like, man, what a week, but we keep on making it through. So we appreciate y'all, man. And I do appreciate Crown coming through. I know Earl is gonna, give him the uncle conversation later on about R&B.
No, y'all gotta. We real live, like go at it.
At it. Listen, you see me and Youngin in the group chat, so I can only imagine. Like,
they was bringing family members in this shit. I was like, "What's going on?"
Hey man, off air,
Mama love.
Ain't no way you believe that,
Mama love.
Mama love on the voice notes.
Mama Love told B-Dot, man, you done stayed your ass too long. said it must be cold outside. Some shit must have gotten his head for him to say some shit like that. Anyway, man, shout out to Crown, man. Great interview. Earl, appreciate you putting me onto the music. That was great. Y'all can follow us at ShowYourWorkNet. And then, of course, if you follow that page, you'll see all of our socials there at DJ Larry0093, at Who's Original, at Earl Got Soul, at 2L's Youngin. Next week, the great mixtape debate.
Oh, yes, sir.
You know what? I'm kind of glad we didn't talk about the Royal Rumble this week because wrestling Twitter got me mad again. So,
man, no dweeb attention.
Listen, bro. And you know what? Can I get like 1 minute? Just 1 minute. I'm sorry.
Go.
Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Yo. Hold on. No. Just we'll stay with the group layout. I don't know what's the fuck's going on. Listen. Y'all shut up.
No, don't give them they want attention. Stop giving these fatherless men attention.
Y'all want all this y'all just want to be mad about everything, bro. Like WrestleMania is 2 months away. There are
This
so
hunky's
many things.
fatherless.
Swaggerless
I wish that
too.
was the title. I wish that was the title.
There are
Hunky's
so
fatherless.
many. There are so many things that they could do with the people that came back. And yes, they both almost have dry spots. Yes, but y'all are going at acting like this is the 1999 Royal Rumble.
Dog.
It's nothing close to it. Did Shane McMahon get fucked up and put himself in the final four? Yeah, he fucked up. But you know what? I am mad because his father fired him. That's just how shit works. You fuck it up, accountability, bro. Like y'all want all this. The problem is y'all don't understand. Like not everybody can be champion, and you can be great in your own unique space, in your own unique way. You do not need to be fucking champion to get some fucking burn. Shut the fuck up. You motherfuckers don't watch wrestling. I'm
I'm just
fully convinced. Y'all just want to get mad. Like I said, with old girl with the cigar. Salute to her. I hope she gets all the priest prosperity, love, and everything. Y'all motherfuckers just want to have like this humiliation loser king. Like this shit is weird, bro. Not everybody can be champion. Like just because somebody's not champion does not mean they're not good or like, oh my god, they're fucking buried. No, you could put Sasha with whoever. Ronda and Charlotte's gonna happen. That's fine. You could still get good matches with Sasha. If Bailey comes back, you could get Bailey Sasha again. We understand Lita might fucking pull a Billy Kim and injure somebody with the somersault. That's okay. We could still get a match with Sasha and Lita. We could still Bianca is gonna be fine. Like all these people are going to be fine. Just because they are not in the title picture does not mean that they're not well off. Not everybody can be champion. Let shit play out, bro. There's a reason why you are not in the fucking writer's room and you are on Twitter spewing bullshit because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So just shut up. If you want to analyze it and be fair about it, that's fine. But at the end of the day, fucking Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Big E, Bobby Lashley, Goldberg, AJ Styles. Not everybody can be fucking champion. Y'all want these new. I'm sorry, I'm kind of extending time, but I'm almost done. I promise you. Like I said on Twitter, y'all want new people to come and win, right? I'm not the biggest fan of Austin Theory. I ain't gonna hold you. Are y'all fans of Austin Theory in this podcast?
I couldn't care less.
Okay,
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't
fine.
move the
I,
needle.
I agree with you. I could care less, but you know what? A young guy gets to win over a quality talent in Kevin Owens. That's a good thing. That's how you get That's how you get newcomers to win and get some like notoriety, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then y'all go and complain about, oh my god, AJ Styles should be fucking champion, this, that, and the third, whatever. He just put a really good match with Rey Mysterio Jr., who is I don't know how both these motherfuckers are
Rey
45.
Mysterio Jr.
Because
is
20
crazy.
years ago, the only 40-year-old motherfuckers that you cared about were DDP, kind of, Ric Flair, and was Sting 40 in 2000? Probably. Who fucking know? I don't even know how.
Probably. Shit is at 80
Bro,
now.
Sting is like Shang Tsung's age. We don't know how fucking old that motherfucker is, but he's old, right? But like we're at this age now where like we're at wrestling is like rap now. Like you know how like Nas and Hov are like 40 plus and they're putting out quality music still. We are not. It's not the 90s when you were 40 years old and like that shit was not good. Like we are at the time where you can get 35 plus, 40 plus year old talents such as AJ Styles and such as Rey Mysterio who can give you a quality 10 to 15-minute match. That match was very good. Even though I didn't think it was going to be bad, but I was like, that was a very good match. I liked it. Do I care about Austin Theory? Absolutely fucking not. But you know what? A young guy has to get a win over a quality person to win. He can't be going fucking wrestling, jobbing talent all fucking day to get some wins. Like y'all want one thing, and then it happens, and then it's like, no, but it wasn't this person. Like that's not how this shit works. Not everybody's gonna win. There are winners and there are losers. There are people who are champions. There are people who do on the mid card. Some of y'all favorite fucking wrestler, The Undertaker, was not champion for 7 years, and look how much he's revered for a 30-year career. But You motherfuckers have the attention spans of goldfish. Y'all just don't understand the bigger picture, and that's fine. So you can go in the corner with your whack ass opinions, stay that shit over there. And if y'all have an issue, you can add me. I really don't give a fuck. I don't like to argue, but I'm willing to put somebody in their place. So if I'm wrong, just tell me I'm wrong, and we can talk about it. I apologize. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Just shut up and watch wrestling, man. Go outside. Go talk to women. Go play a video. Go do something, bro. Like y'all just say shit just to say shit. Like, oh, this is in the gutter. This is that. No, the reason why you think it sucks is because your favorite wrestler ain't winning shit right now. That's your fucking problem. Listen, do I want
mouthful there, my guy?
Listen, do I want certain wrestlers to win titles? You fucking right. I don't want them to win certain titles. But you know what? I understand in a moment. Okay,
Earl, that 1 minute to turn into like 5
right.
sticks.
No. I'm not saying
I'm
like
fucking
that.
with him.
No,
I'm fucking with him. No, he's saying a
like
lot.
he's so you know the conversations we were having on the live stream. Like he's not wrong, bro. Like
no,
he's
not
saying a lot.
wrong.
Talk that talk, G.
No, he's
talk
like,
that
y'all
talk.
motherfuckers want one thing, and then it happens, and it's like, oh well, it wasn't my wrestler, so fuck that shit. No, that's not how this works, bro. This is not the fucking 80s no more. Jack Tunney ain't running this fucking federation, bro. We are in 2022. There's so much fucking talent out there. Like, y'all want the same people. Y'all complain about the same. Y'all want something, and then when it happens, you complain about it because it didn't happen at your fucking expense. You're not the only one watching WWE, motherfucker. There are billions of other people watching wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, like, all right. On that note, listen. Show Your Work Net, Volume 60. Thank you for everybody for coming through. Crown, shout out to Crown. Go stream his music. Where's the website? Hold on. I just had it up at the beginning. I didn't have it up. Shopforeveropen.com.
Yes, sir.
Go buy something, please. You know what? Go, ladies. If you go buy. If they're a fan of Crown, go buy him a shirt. He'll love you even more. All right. Men like gifts too. Men have feelings too. And
next week we're
gonna
talk about how women give terrible gifts on Valentine's Day. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Is your mic still on? Oh, okay.
Hello.
Speak for yourself, my
Speak
brother.
for your motherfucking self.
Oh no. I'm married, but I remember not being.
Okay. You see,
I get wonderful gifts for Valentine's Day.
That was such a beautiful Eurostep, Manu Ginobili, and James Harden.
No. You got to. Are you kidding me?
Oh my god. He said right. He said right, and he thought it was gonna happen. He said and he said lay.
Listen. I don't have those issues. But back when I was dating, women give terrible gifts. But we can talk about that.
Listen, man. Next week we will be talking. Also, I will tell y'all why Dedication 2 is not Wayne's best tape, and I will be ready to be, exiled.
And I'm gonna have a soliloquy on why women give the gifts that they will buy their dad to their boyfriends. But anywho,
all right, man, we out of here. We'll see y'all next time.
I Show Your Work now.
We'll
catch y'all next week, man. We'll do some